And good evening and welcome to Olathe Northwest High School, where your 4-0 Blazers are getting set to take on the 0-4 Ravens from Olathe Northwest here on the Blazer Broadcast Network. Ryan Ragland with you at the McCarthy Garden Group broadcast booth. Ian Jones alongside. He will be down on the sideline, and Will the Thrill McIntyre back at the helm of the camera and the stats. You like how I did that, Will? Kind of build you up there for that little beat there. I think you might like that. I'll tell you what, after last week's game against Olathe East, the most physical game the Blazers have had this year, it took an interception by Devontae Pritchard to solidify the game for the Blazers. But I'll tell you what, and I would bring Will in here, but you were too busy at Billy Joel, so you can't say too much about it. But Ian, you were there, and I mean, the way the kids. They stuck in there. I mean, you were up there with me, but even you could tell that they weren't giving up. They weren't down. They didn't hold their heads down or anything. These guys were in there. They knew they were in for a battle, and it was like, all right, boys, time to tighten up the belt straps. Let's go after it.
Exactly, and that was one of the first complete games that Coach Cornelson, like he said, for the Blazers, my bad. It was the first complete game for the Blazers this year. You know, usually they were used to having big leads in the first half.
Yeah, you're fine.
And they're used to having big leads in the first half, and they could bunker down and kind of give up some of those big plays. But against Olathe East last week, it was one of those where you had to play a complete game to win, and there was no giving up in the Blazers, and hopefully that can translate into more wins and as going forward deeper into the schedule and into the playoffs.
Real quick, I want to mention to everyone. Obviously, you can tell that we had, I don't know why, we had another broken stream code. I can't tell you why, but I came prepared. I'm right here.
I can't hear you over here.
Oh, you're not going to. So you got to put it back on your other ear. It's only going through for one
All
channel.
I hear is static. Can you hear anything?
I hear static.
Yeah.
Oh. All right. That's what happens when we accidentally turn the button off. Anyway, as you can tell, we had a broken stream. We're not on the element that I had set up, but everyone that had subscribed to the Blazer Broadcast Network got an alert saying that the stream is on, and this is what we're on. This is one of the huge reasons why you need to subscribe to the Blazer Broadcast Network YouTube page. So what you need to do is go to that share button. You'll have a little link that'll say either share on Facebook, or you can copy the link or whatever and put it whatever you want to. But hit the like button. Hit the share. Let everyone know that, friends, family that's planning on watching the game, and possibly they're still waiting for it to start on the other stream that I had set up. Once again, I don't know why it didn't work. It's the second week in a row, but I came prepared. I got our normal stream on there, so we got it started on time. So hit that share button. Tell everyone about it. Just tell them they need to search Blazer Broadcast Network on YouTube. The element's right there. They're seeing the field and everything, so we're good to go. Real quick, the Blazers coming up with the big move on the A10varsitysports.com. In fact, speaking of which, let's see here. Speaking of which, I need to get trying to get with Chad Rader, because Chad Rader with A10 Varsity Sports carries our broadcast and tries to, and I need to tell him we have a broken code again. And I need to get the stream code to him, and I'll get that sent to him here. But we are on. Sorry about this, everyone. This is the last thing I wanted to be doing. Are on with the, sorry about that other code. I need to let Chad Rader know, because He carries this with A10 Varsity Sports, and he's the one that has A10 Varsity Sports. He actually has a top 25, but I just write down the top 20 or the top 40, but I write down the top 25. And he actually has the Blazers moving up to 10th from 16th and 4-0. And the one thing that, and he had on his prediction machine, he said that it's still, kind of iffy if the Blazers are really a top 10 team because, just to be honest, you take a look at their schedule. The two toughest teams they've had is Shawnee Mission East, who is 3-1, and Olathe East, who is a rough 1-3. They're probably the best 1-3 team in the state of Kansas. And they've had Lawrence that's still trying to get their new offense with Coach Rempe, Olathe West, the other team they played, and that's a first-year team. Olathe Northwest here being 0-4. Next week they take on Shawnee Mission North, who is 1-3, and they beat Olathe West by 1 point last week. The other tough team they're going to have is Shawnee Mission Northwest, and that's going to be October 11th on a Thursday night game, and then they have Shawnee Mission West coming in on week 8 before we head into the playoffs. So, I mean, realistically, yeah, the Blazers could be 0-8 and, heading into the postseason, but it still comes down to the point. It doesn't matter who you play. You still have to get in there, and you still have to finish the game.
Exactly, and the point really for the Blazers these next few weeks heading into the postseason is going to be no matter what time, you don't play down to your opponent at all. And they're going to have to quickly realize, because they had the few miscues in the Olathe West and the Lawrence game where they were playing down to their opponent in the second half. But these next few weeks leading into the playoffs, you've got to play 4 full quarters. Cannot have any miscues offensively, defensively, especially special teams, because those are points you really need come playoff time, and you need to get your special teams down to a point.
Yeah,
playoff.
And I still have texting with Chad Rader. He's not sure what the problem is with YouTube that we're having trying to get it on, and I'm telling him I gave him my password and everything so he can get on and get the stream code and get on A10 Varsity Sports. Also, there's a chance where we might be able to really expand our coverage. I'm going to be talking to Brian Short here, who's with TV25. And to be totally honest, I haven't heard of them, but they're cover Kansas City, Topeka, and Lawrence, and a broadcast up to 2.2 million viewers in Kansas City, Topeka, and Lawrence, which isn't a bad exposure. So, hey, if you can get it, you take it. Real quick, taking a look at the scores last week from the Sunflower League, and this is a look around the Sunflower League, brought to you by Trails West, Ace Hardware and Feed in Gardner, also in Arbor Creek in Olathe. Make sure you tell Rex and the Gaines a huge thanks for their sponsorship of the Blazer Broadcast Network. These guys are awesome. I mean, Rex, there's nothing Rex won't help you with. He's just a flat-out great guy. Last week's scores, once again, Blazers 27-21 over Olathe East. It was Lawrence Free State 35 over Shawnee Mission West 14, and those are the first points that Lawrence Free State has given up all year. It was Shawnee Mission East over Shawnee Mission Northwest 37-7. Remember, that's Shawnee Mission East the Blazers beat in week 1. So, hoping everything, I beat this team and you beat that team, then we should beat that team.
Right.
You're just hoping it's going to work out that way. Olathe South over Shawnee Mission South 54-24. It was Olathe North going to Columbine in Denver, Colorado last week, and they got plummeted by the fourth or 6th ranked team in the state of Colorado, depending on who you talk to, but they got manhandled 35-6. Olathe West over Shawnee Mission North. Shawnee Mission North over Olathe West, 35-34. And then Lawrence got their first win of the year last week against these Ravens, 21-26. Now the game's going on this week. We are here at Olathe Northwest. Sedalia comes into town to take on Lawrence Free State. Shawnee Mission South at Shawnee Mission East. Olathe North and Olathe South. It's Olathe East taking on Shawnee Mission North. Olathe West taking on Shawnee Mission West. And Shawnee Mission Northwest taking on, you should have one universal code for the year, Look at it now. Chad just Shawnee Mission North over Lawrence, and I'm taking a look. I know there was a game last night. Yeah, I can hear you.
There's a big game tonight.
Yeah.
Bishop Miege and Rockers.
Yeah, that was gonna. You're stealing my thunder, there, Willard. Actually, I'm pulling up 8:10 for the scores because they had scores. In fact, I should probably bring it up here. I know there's a Thursday night game. I haven't had a chance to look at it. When you take a look at the big game for the Sunflower League, I think it's got to go to Olathe North and Olathe South. Olathe North coming in at 3-1. Olathe South at 3-1. So both of those teams are really. I mean, Olathe North, they're going to be mad.
Yeah.
They're going to be a little TO. They're going to want to, take a little revenge out on the Falcons. But Olathe South's playing good. They had a nice win over Shawnee Mission South, which was 3-0 going into last week, and I'm sure the Raiders were like, all right, what happened?
Exactly.
That kind of hit them a little bit different. They weren't expecting that one, but it's you're starting to see all the things kind of. I think after this week, if not after this week, maybe really after next week, you're going to start seeing things kind of pan out for the playoffs. But the best thing for the Blazers right now is taking care of their own issue. Taking care of their own games. That's the only thing they really have to worry about.
Exactly, and if you're the Blazers from here on out, like I said earlier, you just got to play 4 complete quarters for the rest of the year up until playoffs, and then obviously, of course, doing that in playoffs. But they control their own destiny. They control their own seeding. And right now they're in a really good spot. You're going to take the 1 seed. I believe the 16 seed is Harmon or Turner, and that's an easy win right there. So if you can get off first week of the first round playing a Harmon or a Turner, that's a cakewalk start to get you into the tougher rounds.
Well, and you just it just comes down to the point. You take care of your business, you play to your ability, and not take anyone lightly. As soon as you start doing that, that's when you get yourself in trouble.
Exactly.
We're going to take a quick time out here on the Blazer Broadcast Network as we're having a look around the EKL. That's the first. I think that's the first time I've done it this year. The Sunflower League, brought to you by Trails West Ace Hardware and Feed. We're going to take a quick time out, and when we come back, we'll talk a little bit about the Rockhurst and Bishop Miege, and kind of what's at stake for those two. I mean, that number 1 team in the state, being 4A, plus on top of that, they're carrying a big load on their back. So we're going to take a quick time out here on the yes, sir.
But wasn't it a couple weeks ago when we were at Lawrence when me and you were talking and we were saying we've not heard anything from Rockers, and all of a sudden?
Well, Rockers lost the first game of the year, and they might have been stung a little bit, and they've started coming back, and they hammered Blue Valley last week. So that's I'm not going to say I was expecting that, but Coach Savarino, when he's on there, when he gets the guys going, he can get them tough. We're going to take a quick time out. We'll be back in a couple minutes here on the Blazer Broadcast Network.
Everybody knows that high school sports generate suspense, excitement, and drama.
They also generate higher grade point averages, stronger work habits, and greater self-esteem.
Everybody knows that high school sports give us more value for our entertainment dollar.
They also give us leaders committed to strengthening communities right here in Kansas. The true value of playing sports in school can't be measured in wins and losses or dollars and cents. Studies show that participation in sports, along with other extracurricular activities, is one of the best ways to teach leadership, cooperation, accountability, and other invaluable life skills. Don't just stand on the sidelines. Encourage the young people you know to get in the game. When you do, you'll be helping them get ahead in life. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Kansas Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Brian Ragland back with you at the McCarthy Auto Group broadcast booth with Ian Jones and Will the Thrill McIntyre. Ian's going to be going downstairs along the sideline, having the best seat in the house, bar none. Real quick, one of the new sponsors on the Blazer Broadcast Network. Every home game, we have pregame meals provided by Wally with Blazers. Last week, Will, you missed. Oh my, did you miss?
Yes, you did.
You can say, you can shake your head all you want. You missed, son. Well, let's see. We only had barbecued ribs. We had pork and beans. We had potatoes. Dude, you missed.
I loved where I was, though.
I'm sure you did.
Billy Joel concert was excellent.
Billy Joel, Piano Man. Everyone can sing Piano Man. Doesn't take a whole lot of talent to play piano, but here, put that on real quick.
It don't take very much to be a bowler either.
Hey, yeah, and
Shots fired.
and you know what? That piano's making him a whole lot more money than the bowling's making me, so I can't say too much. I'd have to win a lot of tournaments in order to get that going. Just switch that out with your mic over there. I'm trying to get a mic set up for Will. In fact, do you want to try that other one? Real quick, and I'll turn you guys down. Real quick, taking a look at some of the stats from last week's game. This is the total. Here's what's kind of interesting, and Jarrett's a lot like me, and Jarrett's not here tonight. He's taking care of some pre-wedding festivities that he has to take care of, and that's just kind of how it goes. Here's the thing that's kind of interesting, that the two things that really get me. The total yards, 1,573 for Blazers, 629 for opponents. Now, the big one, obviously, is the rushing yards. 1,354 yards, only 219 passing yards for the Blazers, which comes down to the same deal that, when you're running this type of offense, it comes down to the point where you throw the ball when you need to. Now, obviously, the Blazers haven't really had the need to, with Tevin having the 52 carries for 466 yards. Brody Marshall's only had 4 catches, leading the team with 118 yards. So, I mean, it's just to that point where you only pass the ball when you have to. And, when you're able to run the ball effectively, you're on. You're there.
All right.
You're just checking?
Yeah.
Well, are you?
on?
You're on.
Hey.
And we can hear you.
Good.
Those things work out pretty well.
Yeah.
But you kind of looked funny with that cat's tail on there.
I'm not saying nothing.
Oh, dude, I've been down on that wind. We're going to hear how windy it was with Coach Cornelison here coming up in about 5 minutes. But we were going to talk a little bit about Bishop Miege and Rockhurst coming up. That's the game that everyone's talking about. And I'll tell you right now, if I wasn't here, I would be there. And I'm not sure who wouldn't be there. And I believe the game is at Miege.
Yeah, game's at Miege, and they were selling.
You're right. Go ahead.
They were selling reserve tickets for like $50.
No way.
Reserve seat. You can reserve a seat for the game for $50.
Wow.
And they sold out.
Okay. Now here's my problem with that.
I don't like that.
Here's my problem with that. Number one, it's a regular season game, so I don't know what Keisha's deal is if they have a limit on what they can do for prices or whatever. But $50 for a high school game.
No.
That's stupid.
I may be wrong, but I swear
I know they were pre-selling tickets for the game on Tuesday, or either Monday or Tuesday. I did hear that. The $50 I didn't hear, so I can't say for sure.
I'm looking it up.
If that's true, that's the first bad thing that I've ever heard coming out of Miege. I will say that. But when you I have to give the nod to Rockhurst for the simple fact that Miege is coming up with a new quarterback. He's a stud, but they lost Putz from last year, four-year starter that broke nearly every quarterback record in the state of Kansas last year for career and season. Umpteen, time Class 4A, champs. but I just got to give the nod to Rockers for the simple fact that they're probably going to have a little bit more experience. They literally do the travel issue probably better than anyone. They'll literally go out and play everyone being an independent team and not of
a conference
of a conference or a league or whichever. But man, that game. And also, people, I mean, here's what you need to do, people. What you need to do is watch this game and then do what I do. I'm going to go home. I'm going to pull up 810 Varsity Sports, and I'm going to watch the Rockhurst Miege game, not knowing what the score is, just so I can enjoy the game and watch it. That's how you do it.
That's what I'll probably do when I get home tonight too.
No, you can't come over.
I'm not coming over to your
Good.
place. No. No.
But yeah, that's going to be a game. So we'll have score updates. You can pull up score updates on your phone on everything going on, and I'll tell you what, people. If you remember when I did the weekly update on Wednesday, I had told you that they had internet problems here at Olathe Northwest. Well, they were told that they were fixed. Well, guess what? The Wi-Fi was not fixed. And last time we hear a couple years ago when the Blazers defeated Olathe Northwest in the playoff game, we got lucky and their hardwire plug into the wall was hot, and we were able to do it that way. Well, guess what? Wi-Fi isn't working. We plugged it into the wall and we got it going. So thank goodness for that, because I would have lost my cookies if we had no internet, because there's really not much you can do. So
and it's not nice seeing you lose your cookies. I've seen it many times.
I saw it last week.
No, you didn't see it last week.
No, I've seen him.
That wasn't it. But
No.
hey, that's the only reason I get upset when something goes wrong is because I take pride in the broadcast, and I work my tail off to make sure everything is set up. So that's why when the stream key wasn't working again for the element that I had set up, I was already prepared for that and made sure it wasn't going to happen again. Went to the backup, boom, we're on. That's how you do it. So we're going to take a quick time out. We're going to have the McCarthy Auto Group pregame show coming up with comments from Coach Corey Nelson. It's the 4-0 Blazers and the 0-4 Olathe Northwest Ravens. Will be back in a couple minutes with Coach Corey Nelson here on the Blazer Broadcast Network.
Hey, Blazers fans! The McCarthy Auto Group is proud to support Gardner Edgerton Sports. Remember, when you're in an accident, after you call 911, make your next call 800-NEW-AGAIN for one of the 5 conveniently located McCarthy Collision Centers. Call or click 800-NEW-AGAIN for the McCarthy Collision Centers. For award-winning service performed by certified technicians with decades of experience, call or click 800-NEW-AGAIN. The McCarthy Collision Centers. Satisfying customers is no accident. It's our guarantee.
Talking with Coach Corey Nelson on the McCarthy Auto Group pregame show. Blazers coming off a very tough 27-21 win over Olathe East. And before we get into that, some congratulations are in order as you were named the KC Preps and Kansas City Chiefs Coach of the Week along on the Kansas side, alongside with the coach from Lee Summit West. And really a testament to what your staff and the kids have really done coming into this year with all the changes going on.
Yeah, no doubt. And I explained to our kids when you get an award like that as a coach, really that's a team award. I mean, it has really nothing to do with the coach. It has a lot more to do with their level of success and how well they've been playing on the field and their commitment to the program this summer and coming in and winning early in the season. So know, it's a great honor to coming from the Chiefs, who do so much for the Kansas City community, and it's you know, it's exciting for our team and our school and community. So it was a neat deal.
And I'll kind of combine my question last week with being a third of the way through the season when you have the 9 games counting the first week of playoffs. But now you're halfway through the regular season and this award has come up. You're 4-0. You've had probably the most physical game that you've had to date with Olathe East. You had to have an interception on 4th down by Pritchard to really seal the game. Talk a little bit about the last 4 weeks where you come through the tough game with Shawnee Mission East. You come with the nice wins, but you still had a few things you had to work with Olathe West and Lawrence, and then you come up with the physical game with East, and how all that's come around to tonight.
Yeah, you know, I thought it was a good start to the season. There was a lot of good competition. We had to, you know, find different ways to win ball games. It wasn't always the same way or the same kid. We found different guys to carry the ball and be key guys in different games. So it's really probably what we needed the first 4 games, and had some success, and we're able to learn from those games, and hopefully it's made us better through the back stretch of our schedule.
When you take a look at what we talked about in week 2 after the game with Shawnee Mission East, where you thought maybe the kids might have been a little bit complacent a little bit. Okay, we've got the win, now we can relax a little bit, and they kind of found out you're still going to have to play. Now they come up that tough game with Olathe East. It looked like in practice earlier this week, from what I saw, it looked like the kids were more focused into what they wanted to do, and they could actually see that big light at the tunnel and what the season can be.
Yeah, I mean, you hope so. You know, I mean, I think they work hard, and they're listening, and we're trying to put in a good game plan each and every week. So, you know, I think they're starting to realize that, you know, when you win and you're 4-0, every game becomes a big game, and every game sets you up for playoffs in different ways. So, you know, I told them this week that, you know, being a part of a winning team is not as easy as sometimes it looks. You got to come back on Monday and go back to the grind and make sure each and every game you're ready to play, and everybody's going to take their best shot at you, and so you got to come ready to play, and so that's new to them. That's something they're learning as we go, and they now hopefully see that each week's going to be a tough ball game, and we got to be ready to play and execute at a high level.
We'll be back with more of the coach right after this.
Hey, Gardner Edgerton fans! The McCarthy Auto Group is a proud supporter of youth sports across the Blazer Nation.
If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, or you need service or body work done, we hope you'll visit one of the 11 McCarthy Auto Group locations. Visit kccars.com for over 3,000 new, certified, and pre-owned vehicles. Our inventory covers most every make and model and prices to fit every budget. The McCarthy Auto Group, with locations in Olathe and Overland Park, Kansas, and Blue Springs and Sedalia, Missouri.
Go Trailblazers!
When you're Kansas City born and raised, you know just how much meat matters. That's why Price Chopper employs real butchers. They're hard at work every day in every store, so you never have to settle for something prepackaged out of state. They're so sure you'll love their KC Pride beef, they even back it with a 200% guarantee. Stop by Price Chopper tonight, where they cut meat, never corners. Price Chopper, Kansas City born and raised.
This may sound like a typical high school basketball game being played on a Friday night in Kansas. In fact, it's a crash course in cooperation and teamwork. It's a test of dedication, determination, and drive. It's character development in action. If you think high school sports are only about competition, think about this. High school sports can play a critical role in a student's overall education. In fact, studies show that students who participate in school sports are more likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in their academic lives. At the same time, playing sports helps teach lessons not covered in the classroom. Lessons like tolerance, respect for the rules, and the importance of supporting your community. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Kansas Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Back with Coach Cornelson on the McCarthy Auto Group pregame show. Blazers getting Back with Coach Cornelson on the McCarthy Auto Group pregame show. Blazers getting set to take on Olathe Northwest at Northwest, a field where the Blazers had gotten their first Class 6A postseason win a few years ago. And that was kind of the thing that I remembered. It was the first thing that came to my mind when I saw it on the schedule and we were going to come here. Tonight's kind of like the same way. Really windy. You've got a strong wind coming out of the north. How much do you see that being a factor in the game?
Anytime there's a heavy wind, it's a factor, especially with special teams and field position. You kind of got to change your approach sometimes to what you're doing with field position. And I've done it long enough now to know those different situations. But for our kids, it's probably new to them as far as being in a big game and having to play the field position game a little bit more than what we're used to. So to me, that's really the winds just changes your field position game.
With Olathe Northwest coming in at 0-4, it really lends to your style of offense right now, of ball control. And as they say, the easiest way to keep a team from scoring is to keep their offense off the field.
Yeah, they run very similar offense and defense to us, and they've been in games, and when I look at film from our league, it seems like everybody's pretty similar. I don't see any outside of maybe Olathe North and Free State, I don't see anybody just kicking people's tails. So it's an equal game each and every week, and it allows us to have to focus and be prepared. And I'm not concerned with what anybody's record is at this point. I'm just concerned with our level of play, and we need to take a step from last week and play better and play at a higher level this week.
At the end of last week, it didn't look like there was too many changes on the injury front. You're still without Maxwell. You're still without Eubanks and some of the other guys. You've had some guys that with illness. Are you getting back to more 100% where you want to be?
No, I'll be honest, we've had a lot. Way more than what I'm used to as far as early in the season, and we keep getting guys nicked up, not necessarily in practice, but just through games. And hopefully they're going to go, and they're starting to understand that sometimes you got to play through some of that stuff when you're rolling. And so our kids are tough and they're trying, and we got some guys banged up, and hopefully tonight they'll be able to go and play the whole game.
Well, good luck tonight. We'll talk to you at the half.
Thanks, sir.
Stick around. Coming up next, the starting lineup and the kickoff right after this on the Blazer Broadcast Network.
Hey, Gardner Edgerton fans! The McCarthy Auto Group is a proud supporter of youth sports across the Blazer Nation.
If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, or you need service or body work done, we hope you'll visit one of the 11 McCarthy Auto Group locations.
Visit kccars.com for over 2,000 new, certified, and pre-owned vehicles. We've got most every make and model and prices to fit every budget.
The McCarthy Auto Group, with locations in Olathe and Overland Park, Kansas, and Blue Springs and Sedalia, Missouri.
Go Trailblazers!
Amazing barbecue, the Kansas City Strip. If there's one thing this town knows, it's meat. That's why Price Chopper butchers take the time to cut meat fresh in-store daily. None of that prepackaged stuff shipped from out of state. It's also why Price Chopper backs all their KC Pride beef with a 200% guarantee. If you don't love it, you'll get a replacement and your money back. No questions asked. Price Chopper, Kansas City born and raised.
Who do I perform for? I perform for all the awesome composers whose music deserves to be heard.
I perform for all the stagehands who make sure I never miss a cue.
I perform for our high school choir director who taught me to breathe from the diaphragm and sing from the heart.
Speech, debate, theater, music. The performing arts teach valuable life lessons that typically aren't taught in the classroom. They help high school students learn leadership skills that prepare them to enjoy more satisfying, productive lives.
I perform for Mrs. Evans, my high school debate coach, who has helped me become more confident than I ever dreamed possible.
This message presented by the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the high school in your community.
Hey, I've got a question for you. Who will you perform for?
And welcome back to Olathe Northwest. I almost said Gardner, that's going to be next week. Olathe Northwest as the Blazers take on the 0-4 Olathe Northwest Ravens. as your Blazers come in and look to stay undefeated as they come in with a record of 4-0. Ryan Ragland alongside Will the Thrill McIntyre at the McCarthy Auto Group broadcast booth, and down the sideline is going to be Ian Jones. And Ian, do you have like a weather app on your phone or anything, man?
I do.
You do?
I don't wear sweats, dude. I don't.
You're like Junior. You just wear shorts. Even you are the guy that they talked about. I saw a deal on Facebook. It says no matter how cold it is, there's always that guy, and it's the guy holding books, wearing shorts with 6 inches of snow on the ground.
That's me.
You are that guy.
That's me in high school.
Strong wind coming out of the north tonight, and I mean this is a pretty stiff wind, probably gusting up to 30, 35 miles an hour, and you got permission with the white hat. And I actually saw some of the refs down there. He's standing, and we need to get down here. Get that down there, Will, with Ian down there. Tell the ref that he just got caught on a camera with trying to use you as a shield. That doesn't work very well.
He says good.
Tell him I said he just lost his man card also.
You also lost your man card.
Once you get that heart once you get that heart going and everything, and start getting everything, pumped up and get into the game, you're really not going to feel it that much. Usually, Kansas nights, once the sun goes down, that somehow the wind ends up usually kind of subsiding a little bit. But this is going to be a game where you're really going to look at field position, and also, it may end up, you going up against the wind as long as this stiff north wind is. This may end up convincing you to go for it on fourth down, 4th and 2, 4th and 3.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the weather conditions, they're not the greatest. I mean, the wind is a huge factor, so definitely this is going to play into the favor of Gardner Edgerton with their run game. But, I mean, 4th down, I'm at this point you're playing an 0-4 team. Go for it. Go for it.
Well, and the one thing we haven't seen so far this year is outside of the first game with Shawnee Mission East is the Blazers with a onside kick that Coach Cornelson did. And he said that was something that he's done before. He'll pull that out every once in a while, but the thing is, we haven't seen that at all the rest of the year. So I'm kind of wondering if that was like a statement, going in and telling these guys, okay, you're really going to, we're going to set this seed back on the side and really let you guys think about it. And just remember, we do have that ability to do this. And as we have the Blazers coming out of I don't want to say out of the tunnel, but breaking through the banner that the Pep squad had made up for them. I didn't get to read it or anything, so you didn't either. Are you're using the handheld? Is that the loop over your ear not working well?
No, it is. I just figured I'd have it for the coin toss.
Oh, okay.
Use it,
make sure that flat side's to you also. Just FYI. Real quick, anyone in the stands, and there's a lot of blue. There's a good little bit of blue out there. Have your radios. Ian's going to be looking for it, and he's got some T-shirts, some Blazer Broadcast Network T-shirts with the updated logo, and if he spots you out there, he'll probably just check them out there. If he sees someone with the radio and listening, Ian's not hard to find. I was going to use an adjective that wasn't going to be very good, but he's the guy in shorts. There's not too many of them in shorts with a yellow sleeve, so he's not hard to find. So make sure you find Ian down there, and he'll get you a updated Blazer Broadcast Network T-shirt. And real quick, we're going to take a look at the starting lineups brought to you by Trails West Ace Hardware and Feed. And we're going to take a look at the offensive side, because I think that's going to be the huge key tonight, is for the offensive machine just to keep going. As I mentioned earlier, the Blazers' total yardage, over 1,500 to almost 700 for opponents, so they are pretty close to 2 to 1 in total yardage. Tevin McKelvey, Luke Jennings, and A.J. Rodriguez, along with Jacob Hunsberger, is going to be in the backfield. Brody Marshall is going to be your wideout, and your front line is going to be Gage Gully, Taylor Warner, Andrew Adams, Sean Waters, Noah Short, and Jake Stewart. That's going to be your front five, and that's been the machine that's been working pretty well for the Blazers as we're awaiting the start of the kickoff. It is Midnight Madness for KU, so maybe that's where I got the tip-off. I'm not sure. Getting ready to come out for the Blazers, for the captains, it's going to be Brody Marshall. It's going to be Zane Zutzman, Kelvin Woodson, and I believe that's going to be Marshall Mason, the four for the Blazers coming out for the coin flip. And we told you earlier that, and I'll tell you what, huge thanks to all the White Hats for allowing us to be able to go out there and get the coin toss as everyone's going out there, and Ian Jones is going to be carrying the coin flip here on the Blazer Broadcast Network. As the Blazers, as you see, I love these uniforms. These are, I don't want to say throwbacks, but sometimes basic goes so well. And we'll throw it down to Ian for the coin flip.
There you go. Okay, Gardner, you are the visitor, so you're going to call it. Okay, what are you going to call? Heads? You're going to call heads. Okay, everybody's heads is going to go up. Okay, here we go. Go on. Heads, you've won the toss. You can kick, receive, or defer. Going to defer. Going to defer. Okay. How'd you show? So you want to receive the ball. Okay. And which way are you going to do? And you're going to kick with the wind, right? Yep. Okay. Everybody, put your backs here. Evidently, this is like one of the very few times he's going to wind out. Gardner Edgerton won. Defer.
And there you go. Gardner Edgerton has won the toss. They will defer and kick off, or receive the ball in the second half. They will kick off with the wind, and that's how all that is going to work out for the game tonight. The Blazers 4-0. The Ravens 0-4. As what are you looking for, Will? Oh, the lights. We can't have any lights, Will. You hear that? He wants lights, Ian. What's the deal? He wants lights.
Lights.
What's lights?
Lights. I don't know.
You got plenty of lights, don't you?
Yeah. I guess so.
Ian Jones along the sideline, Will McIntyre, and myself. I saw that. And I think you're number one too, Will. We love you, man. And we are about set to kick off the 4-0 Blazers and the 0-4 Ravens. Week 5 in the Sunflower League, as we will have updates on scores around the Sunflower League and the state of Kansas. And a very brisk wind coming out of the north. And I would be very surprised if this ball does not land in the end zone going to the right. Once again, a huge thanks to all the sponsors on the Blazer Broadcast Network. And also, everyone joining us here on YouTube, make sure you click the share and share the link with anyone that's wanting to watch the game. As you can tell, for whatever reason, we had a broken code again. That's the second week in a row. I'm not sure why. I'm going to look into that. But we got the game on the air. Click the like button. Share it on Facebook with friends through text or anything else. And we are good to go here on the Blazer Broadcast Network. As the short kick goes up to the 20-yard line. Not much there. It's going to be the 24. And it looks like they are going to mark it down at the 25-yard line for the Ravens. And it's going to be 1st and 10. And sorry about that. Will's doing stats and trying to run the computer. Also going to try to do the camera, and I'm not sure which one we're all going to be able to do. It's going to be a kind of a crazy fest. So Twins to the near side. For Olathe Northwest, 1st and 10. And they're going to go with the option. I almost thought there was a fumble as Cole Manning handed the ball off. Not much there. Or take that back, end up getting about 3 yards, so it's going to be 2nd and about 7.
And Olathe Northwest, they come out in kind of like an I formation, I guess you would say. I mean, the fullback is in the 3-point stance, basically. But, I mean, kind of opposite of what Lawrence did, I would say.
Pitch goes off to the flat. Pat's complete. It's going to be a first down for Olathe West. Pass completed to Grant Hall. So Manning get the ball completed out to the flat. It's going to be 2 plays and a first down for the Ravens. And Olathe Northwest runs out of the gun an awful lot, and that just allows allows a little bit more time as they're going to come out of the old-fashioned wishbone from Oklahoma. There you go, Will. You know how that works. And get driven out of bounds. They can run the wishbone to the short side. End up getting about 3 yards on the play. And apologies, we're not going to be able to keep the down and distance on the screen for you tonight. There's just me and Will up here. Usually Ian's up here being able to do that, but he's down the sideline replacing Jarrett. So, hey.
You got to do what you got to do.
You got to do what you got to do. And we have you down there for crowd noise.
Yeah, I can hear Olathe Northwest student section in my mic, and I'm across the field from them.
No, that's actually our student body too, isn't it?
No, ours are quiet.
Pass. Go cover it. Cover. That's a backward pass. Don't be letting loose on it. And it's a Blazer football as the pass went back. And I believe that was Mason. Marshall Mason had given up on it, but Roberts, being the smart one, coming the transfer from Blue Valley North last year, stayed on it, knowing that was a backward pass, and it's going to be a first down for the Blazers.
Great start for this defense, giving up that one big play, that one decent play for a first down on the second play of the drive, but good stop by this defense, get this offense on the field, and hopefully start putting up some points on the board for the Blazers.
So Blazers get the ball on the Ravens' 37-yard line. McKelvey under center. Hands the ball off to Hunsberger. And he's going to get a good 4 yards off the play. And we're going to mark him down just short of the 33-yard line.
And let's see if this week, last week the outside run, I believe, off to the right side was very successful for the Blazers. That's where McKelvey got, I believe, 3 of his touchdowns last week. So let's see if they can have continued success running off the right side, or they're going to switch it up this week.
So make it 2nd and 6. Hand off to Jennings up the middle. He can't find anything. He's going to end up losing a yard on the play. Nice job by that front 4 by the Ravens. And that's going to make it 3rd and about 6. And sometimes you run these plays. You run it outside, you run it inside to find out which way, is going to be good for you under certain lineups or certain sets. So 3rd and 7. McKelvey's going to keep it himself, gets to the outside, cuts it in, close to a first down, drives to the 25-yard line, and it's going to be a first down for the Blazers. That was a McKelvey keeper all the way through.
Yeah. Again, good recognition by McKelvey right there to get outside, get to the ball, get to the first down marker.
Also a nice job by that left side to keep that edge sealed off. Sometimes you get that guy that's flying to the outside and you go ahead and let him take it out there and let McKelvey find his own hole. So 1st and 10 for the Blazers. Jennings with the ball. He tries to get to the outside across the 15 down to the 10-yard line. And it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line for the Blazers.
Like we said last week, the outside really helped out the Blazers, and that's how they got their running game started against that Olathe East defense, and seems to be the same solution this week. Run it to the outside, get some big gains right there.
So 1st and 10 for the Blazers from the 11-yard line. Hand off to Rodriguez, or checked out to Hunsberger, and he's going to lose a couple yards on the play. And I'll tell you what, anytime they run something inside, Ravens are pretty much closing off that interior. So make it 2nd and 11. Handoff off the middle. And still not much there as Hunsberger gets up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. We're going to mark him down at the 8.
At this point, you wonder if maybe, it's early in the game, obviously, but do Blazers go to the pass offense just for this 3rd and long, or do they just stick it to the ground?
I think here you're going to stick with your bread and butter right now.
McKelvey.
Well, we got a call. Will's calling McKelvey's number on this one.
Nope.
Hands off to the outside to
Touchdown.
Rodriguez. He's going to leap up across. Touchdown, Blazers. A.J. Rodriguez with an 8-yard touchdown run. Puts the Blazers on the board 6-0. Looking for the extra point.
And they, like I said, against Olathe West and Lawrence, the main problems were the special teams. Let's see how special teams does this week after a pretty good performance last week against Olathe East.
Well, plus you take a look at what happened, at Lawrence. That was not a pretty thing.
No.
So left foot extra point is up, and it is good. By Caleb Calvin, we're going to take a timeout. Actually, we'll keep it here as the Blazers have a 7-0 lead. And I've got to trying to get something rearranged here on the computer. For some reason, the there we go. I think we got it back on. Trying to get all my commercials back that we've needed. We'll try it here real quick. We'll try to get one of these played. In fact, that's not even going to work. Well, that didn't work out well. See if you can grab that camera real quick for me, Will. So the Blazers with a 7-0 lead already. Scoring with 7:39 to go in the first quarter. As a short kickoff again, they're going to have it down just a little bit past the 20, but we're going to have a flag on the play.
It looks like a block in the back is what the side judge is calling for.
And it's going to go against Northwest. It's going to back it up just a little bit. I'm not sure why your mic's cutting out. I'm still trying to figure that one out.
There.
Well, where do you have it set at? Do you have it set on your hip?
Yeah, it's like right
okay.
on my thigh.
Yeah, I can see it. I was just checking. Yeah, trying to get this one set up so we get a good line of sight. 1st and 10 for Northwest.
Good push by the Blazer defense, hold them to nothing.
Handoff up the middle.
Blazers in a really good spot defensively, you know, holding Olathe Northwest back within their own 15. You hold them to a 3-and-out right here, and good field position to start off your second drive.
Trying to stretch the play out past the 10-yard line, gets away from one Blazer. On the carry is going to be Chase Brown. And I didn't see who he got around, but they didn't get to the spot quick enough to get him picked up.
I couldn't get a good view from this angle.
So 3rd and 2 for the Ravens. And you can hear from Ian's microphone that wind still pretty harsh out of the north. Handoff up the middle, and I think he might have been denied. On the carry was Bryce Johnson, a 5'8", 195-pound sophomore. I'll find you some lights here pretty soon, Will. It is just a little bit dark. Actually, I'm not sure if...
I think there's that knob.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's lights or not. In fact, no, that's I think that's a dead knob. I think it might have been on the other side of the curtain. We'll have to check that here in a second. Let me take a timeout. They're going to give them enough for the first down, so 1st and 10 for the Ravens.
Generous.
Yeah, I thought they might have been denied, but the ball's going to be on the 23-yard line. Toss to the far side.
Good.
And he is brought down.
The number 16.
I thought that might have been Pritchard for a second.
I don't have.
But that's David Johnson. You didn't grab one?
I'm trying to position this to where it doesn't cut out. But
I think you might want to change batteries on that. There might have been a couple there you might want to turn it off and try it out real quick.
Yeah, it's at 1.
Okay. We'll get back with Ian here in a second, as it's going to be 2nd and 10. Clock at 5:12 in the first quarter. Blazers up 7-0. Handoff right up the middle. And just barely past the 20. Basically, yeah, they're going to give him a yard up to the 24-yard line. So make it 3rd and about 9. Clock running at 4:49. Homecoming week for the Ravens tonight. Our homecoming will be next week, as the Blazers will be hosting Shawnee Mission North, as we'll have the pregame starting at 6:15. Third and about 9. Strong wind looking into the face of the Ravens. Back to pass, and getting away from it, and almost a first down. I'll tell you what, that was a nice job by Cole Manning. I hear you back.
Yeah, I'm back. It's doing the thing.
That's weird. I'm not sure why it'd be doing that.
I don't know either.
Never really had that problem before. So clock at 4:16, and it's going to be a punt. Fair catch at the 38-yard line for the Blazers. And that's where they're going to have the ball. What does it show on it, real quick? What does it show on the battery level there, Ian?
I just put new ones in, and it's at like a 2 or 3, I think.
Just doing troubleshooting. Yeah, I'm not sure why that mic's doing that. That's a pretty hefty mic there, unless it's some kind of interference with the building, which you can have that. Clock at 4:09 in the first. Blazers up 7-0. Jennings with the handoff.
Oh.
Almost busted it out. He gets across the 50-yard line. They're going to mark him down at the 49. And that's what that offense does. You can get that quick hit. In fact, Ian, if you want to, stay on this side of the team.
All right.
You can stay on this side of that white line, and you can walk in front of the players and just kind of, that may help a little bit. I'm not sure if there's any kind of interference.
I'm not.
Clock at 3:50. McKelvey's going to keep it himself, breaks one tackle, doubles back the other side, and he gets around the corner. We have a flag on the play. McKelvey going to be marked down at the 20-yard line, but we'll have to check the flag. Usually, and that's back in that crowd, they're going to mark it down to 45. Usually that's going to be holding.
Yeah, that looks like a hold. Let's see.
Someone trying to seal that edge out, and they did it a little bit too well.
Yep, it's a hold walking back.
So they're going to mark it down at the 45-yard line.
That's a real buzzkill whenever you have a big run like that and then have it called back with a penalty. I guess I'm just going to have to, like, hold.
I'm not sure what the deal is. That's kind of strange. May have to change a signal. I may have to try something else. Now, they're going to get a few yards back on that. Let me see yours real quick, Will. Yeah, we may have to change a channel on that. Clock running at 3:20. Blazers up 7-0. First and 10 from the 50. Hand off to Rodriguez. Breaks a couple tackles, tries to cut it back inside.
And he turned a whole lot of nothing into something right there with that spin move. Good move by Rodriguez right there to get a few yards on that play. I guess there's 6 downs now. Mizzou fans, oh, never mind.
What was that?
There was 6 downs. They said it was 6 and 5. Mizzou fans like myself can relate to that.
Yeah, the little Nebraska game there. We have a few flashbacks.
Colorado.
Oh, Colorado, that's what it was.
The 5th down.
McKelvey gets around the corner. It's going to be a first down. And that's the one thing about this offense. You can sit there and get it down, and, 5 yards makes all the difference in this offense.
Exactly, and like I said, it's the offensive line is doing great right now, holding their blocks just so McKelvey and Jennings and all of them can get out to the outside and get that big run on the sideline.
Make it first and 10 from the 36-yard line. Out of the eye. Jennings and McKelvey bump into each other, barely getting up to the 35-yard line, and that's probably not the way the play was designed.
Just seemed like a whole lot of miscommunication right there. Like you said, Jennings just bumped into McKelvey, and McKelvey kind of caught off guard right there.
Clock running at 2 minutes. to get 5 yards out of that. Didn't I just say that 5 yards is huge with this offense?
You did, and either on the ground or through penalties, that's 5 yards is 5 yards, and that makes your play calling a whole lot easier.
If I remember correctly, Gardner did not pass the ball one time last week. Am I correct on that?
No, he was like 0 for 2 or 0 for 3.
Did he throw? I didn't remember throwing for any.
Another one.
Wow. I think that's just called getting a little over anxious. Or getting that gumption going a little bit too much.
You're trying to keep your body warm by moving because it's the wind here. You know, it's going to make it a little bit cold, and you get a little too anxious and you jump.
Yeah, Coach Hafner is going to be going, all right, guys, now look, that ball
hasn't moved.
You don't move until it moves, all right?
Also, what's kind of nice here is that the refs have their own mics for whenever they call penalties, which is, I mean, kind of rare around here in high school, I think.
Jennings with the with the carry as he gets across the 20-yard line up to about the 19. Oh, by the way, how did that Mizzou game turn out last week with Georgia?
We covered the spread. That's all that matters.
Covered the spread.
We covered the spread.
That's all he's worried. That's all you're worried about.
Yep.
Yeah, KU didn't cover that spread.
That's typical. I knew they wouldn't.
Hunsberger bounces to the outside. He's got a blocker ahead of him.
Oh.
Across the 10-yard line, they're going to mark him down.
And laundry on the field.
More yellow stuff flying around. And we're going to have a push in the back, I believe. Thought that's the signal I saw.
Blazers look like they're moving back, maybe? I don't know.
Coach Cornelson trying to,
Yep.
Yeah, they're going to get a block in the back. That's going to back it up. Coach Cornelson's trying to.
If I could get over there without losing my mic,
I'll just
I
go over
would.
there. You can go over there. You can just stay behind that solid white line. You'll be all right.
All right.
So backing it up, 2nd and 3 from the 18. McKelvey under center.
Fumble.
And he's trying to hand it off.
Ravens are covered.
McKelvey got lucky getting it back.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he got lucky getting it back.
Nope, he didn't. Olathe
Oh, he
Northwest.
didn't?
No.
I thought he did unless it got stripped away. So that a simple handoff leads to a fumble with 37 seconds to go. Gives the ball to the 21-yard line for Northwest.
That was a big momentum changer right there for the Ravens, you know, after, 3 straight encroachment penalties.
Yeah, they're saying thank you for that one right now.
Exactly.
And I'll tell you what, I'm not sure if those were new plays or not. But if you kind of go back to McKelvey and Jennings running into each other on a simple handoff, and then on that simple handoff exchange, and McKelvey just doesn't get it to him.
Yeah. It just looked like miscommunication there. Butterfingers, I guess. Also, you guys are one of the only ones without lights up there.
Yeah, we're working on that. Manning hands the ball off up the middle. Not much there. Got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it.
Good push by the D-line right there to hold him to about a foot, it seems like.
Bryce Johnson with the carry. I would say during a timeout, you may want to put one of those shirts on. I'm just saying. I think one of them is an XL, but.
I've got a long sleeve under this.
And that's going to be the end of the first quarter with the Blazers leading 7-0. We're going to take a timeout and be back with the second quarter right after this on the Blazer Broadcast Network.
A few of the sponsors of the Blazer Broadcast Network.
American Computers. Regardless if you need help with a desktop, laptop, network equipment, or peripherals and accessories, American Computers can get the job done. American Computers, 325 North Moonlight Road in Gardner, 2 doors north of Cherryberry.
Blazer's Restaurant, serving Gardner's best burgers made fresh every day since 1976. Blazers Restaurant, 131 North Center in Gardner.
Capes Whole Homes Heating and Air Conditioning, proudly serving Blazer fans in Gardner and surrounding areas. Call Capes Whole Homes Heating and Air Conditioning at 638-1647.
These are just a few of the sponsors of the Blazer Broadcast Network.
When you're Kansas City born and raised, you know just how much meat matters. That's why Price Chopper employs real butchers. They're hard at work every day in every store, so you never have to settle for something prepackaged out of state. They're so sure you'll love their KC Pride beef, they even back it with a 200% guarantee. Stop by Price Chopper tonight, where they cut meat, never corners. Price Chopper, Kansas City born and raised.
Ryan Ragland back with you at the McCarthy Auto Group broadcast booth. Ian Jones along the sideline. Will the Thrill McIntyre helping out with the stats and the computer graphics. Trying to find out why it's so hard to tip up and down.
I don't know.
Manning looking back to pass. Pass going to be complete at the 40-yard line. Andrews with the reception.
It was number 24 for the Blazers in the coverage right there. Just went right through his hands.
That's usually how it happens. Yeah. Kevin Woodson on the coverage. Clock stops at 11:54 on the first down. Handoff up the middle. Closer first down, runs over a couple Blazers. And he's getting chased down from the side. And he's going to be down inside the 5-yard line. And I'll tell you what, that's a book out of the Blazers offense.
Yeah, that is. And,
Andrew Dumas on the carry. Did he hit that line quick or what? I think that kind of surprised the second line.
Yeah, it was basically just like a quick handoff right there, and he just plowed through the second level and got it down to the 4.
Stops the clock at 11:30, and it starts up again. Well, misdirection on the back cut, and for the touchdowns, Olathe Northwest scores from 4 yards out.
It's Dumas, or however you pronounce his name. He's a big back. He is a big kid running that ball. And
6 foot 225.
He seems a lot bigger than that, honestly. From down here, he looks a lot bigger. But he looks like he has the power just to go through that second level, and it showed on that big run that they had.
And the Ravens finally have
no.
And that hits the upright.
It looked like on the hold it was sideways, honestly. It looked like it was sideways on the hold.
It didn't look good from the very beginning. So the Blazers still have the lead, 7-6. We'll take a timeout, be back with a kickoff on the Blazer Broadcast Network.
These are just a few of the sponsors of the Blazer Broadcast Network.
Humphreys Family Dentistry. Come meet one of the newest and best young dentists in the area. Dr. Julie Humphreys will win you over simply with her smile. Dr. Julie Humphreys at Humphreys Family Dentistry, 434 West Main in Gardner.
Junior's Detail and Plasti Dip. When your car looks good, you feel good. See how good you can feel today. Junior's Detail and Plasti Dip, 620-1253.
Trails West Ace Hardware and Feed and Arbor Creek Ace Hardware. No need to drive all over the place for the best tools. Ace is the place and the new home for Craftsman tools. Trails West Ace Hardware and Feed, 240 North Moonlight in Gardner, and Arbor Creek Ace Hardware, 159th and Muir Lynn in Olathe.
These are just a few of the sponsors of the Blazer Broadcast Network.
More than 7.7 million American teenagers participate in high school sports every year, including about 103,000 here in Kansas. They're all learning essential life lessons, like the importance of hard work, time management, and self-discipline. Skills that are helping them become better leaders and more active, responsible citizens. This message presented by the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Kansas Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Ryan Ragland back with you at the McCarthy Auto Group broadcast booth as we have the kickoff up to the 20-yard line, and that's going to be about it. First quarter stats, 11 rushes, 73 yards for the Blazers. 6 first downs, 15 yards and penalties. Time of possession, 7:02 for Olathe Northwest. 9 rushes, 19 yards, 1-for-1 passing for 9 yards, 2 first downs, 25 yards and penalties, and 4 minutes and 58 seconds time of possession. That's why we have Will as the stat man. That's why we do it. You can only multitask to a certain point.
Yeah, I learned that the hard way last week.
So 1st and 10 for the Blazers. Hand off to Jennings, tries to cut it back inside across the 25-yard line.
That was a good cut by Jennings again, breaking off that, shedding that arm tackle. Gets about, what is that, 8, 7?
They can make.
Clock running at 10:45 in the half. Hand off to Hunsberger, and he's going to be close to a first down.
They should give it to him. That's a.
I don't know. They've been pretty close on a lot, and they just give it to him. I'm like, I'm literally, and you're. When the peg is, I just don't see how you can just give it that easily.
I mean, it's not like the NFL or college even, where you've got, I don't know. I don't know.
No, but still, it's just, it's that close.
Yeah.
But then again, you're probably going to get it. McKelvey with the keeper. Cuts it back inside. He's got one man to beat, trying to get around the edge. He is gone. He's at the 20. 10-5, touchdown Blazers. No flag on the field. Tevin McKelvey, 70-yard touchdown run.
And that right there is proven why he is listed as a player to watch by A10 Varsity for Player of the Year. And it's that type of running ability by McKelvey right there.
So just like that, the Blazers come up with a 13-6 score, looking for the extra point. And the extra point is up and good. So the Blazers take a 14-6 lead. And see if we can pull up 810 Varsity Sports and get some scores here real quick. Let's see, we go back here. Been trying to get everything on set up on my Well, I'm not able to try to get to the scores. There we are. As Blazers getting set to kick the ball off. Last night's game, Shawnee Mission East 35-18 over Shawnee Mission South, so the Raiders go down to 3-2. Onside kick, and we had talked about it, and it wasn't the best execution. Gets it up to the 46-yard line.
I was kind of shocked that call right.
Blue Valley leading Northwest 7-0. The Jags leading Blue Valley North 8-7. Trying to get some of the other scores. Olathe East 7-6 over Shawnee Mission North. Olathe South leading Olathe North 7-0. 14-0 Free State leading Sedalia.
That doesn't surprise
No, that doesn't surprise me. Manning back to pass, and it's going to be incomplete. And see if I can find the one that everyone's trying to find. I guess to find the score that everyone's wondering about, I'm going to have to go on the Missouri side. Rockhurst leading Bishop Miege 7-0, that in the first quarter. So 2nd and 10. Manning with a handoff to Dumas. Yeah, he looks a little bit bigger than 6 foot 225 from up here.
Yeah.
He's pretty solid.
Yeah. If he's 6 foot, then I'm like 7'8", I guess.
Carry the mic a little bit closer to your mouth.
All right, how about that?
Is that flat spot toward you?
I believe so.
There you go.
All right.
Now we can hear you.
Now it looks like I'm just going to eat on a fluff ball.
The cat's tail?
Yeah, the cat's tail.
Hey, we do not hear the wind.
All right, good.
If that means anything.
Good.
So 3rd and about 4.
Good.
Dumas with the carry, but nice job by that front line of the Blazers. It's going to make it 4th and about 3.
That's a good push by the Blazers. I don't know why it's doing this.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We'll try a different channel setting on here in a little bit.
All right.
At the half. Clock at 8:20. Manning back to this side looking to pass. Incomplete, just barely out of the hands of Grant Hill.
I'm going to change the batteries again.
And that's going to be a turnover on downs. So the Blazers, after the failed onside kick, really don't lose. They got the ball. Northwest got the ball at the 46. The Blazers get the ball on their 47. So that's only a 7-yard, or not even that, a 5-yard difference. $8:15 on the clock. McKelvey under center. Handoff to Jennings. And he gets across the 50. And they're going to mark him down at the 48-yard line. Clock running at 8 minutes. Left to go in the half. McCarthy Auto Group halftime show coming up next.
All right, I'm back.
He's back.
I was changing the batteries on it just to see because it dropped down to 1 again.
Ah, gotcha. Well, then that may be part of it. Man in motion, handoff to Hunsbarger, and he was met up, I mean, face to face.
As soon as he got the handoff.
Yeah, as soon as he got the handoff. I'm not sure if that was Seth Evans or if that was Connor Boyd, but either way, that was pretty up close and personal to me.
The ball got loose there last second. McKelvey did the smart thing to pick it up right away.
Jennings in motion. Now they're going to call timeout. They were going for the false start. So Coach Cornelison wants to talk about it real quick. See if we can get a few more scores here around the Sunflower League as it loads up. Let's see. Shawnee Mission West leading Olathe West 7-6. You said on the prediction machine on 810 Varsity that they were calling for West possibly winning this game, or that would be Olathe West defeating Shawnee Mission West.
Yeah, they were projecting Olathe West to win, and I mean, from the sounds of it, it's not happening.
It's not happening. Let's see. Manhattan over Emporia 13-0. Trying to find some Derby leading Salinas. Derby is just hammering people. They're leading Salinas South 27-0. Salinas South struggling. Campus, one of the top teams in the state in Class 5A, surprising me. They're leading Salinas Central in Salinas 7-0. Dodge City leading Wichita West 7-0. Hayes, one of Coach Cornelson's old schools, leading in their game at Hayes. McKelvey keeping the ball. He gets across the line of scrimmage. First down for the Blazers. Take a look at a few more scores as Hayes leading Wichita South 27-6. Trying to see some no score on Shawnee Mission Northwest and Lawrence. That's pretty much all I'm seeing right now, so I have to check some scores out a little bit later. 1st and 10, clock running at 6:35. Handoff to Jennings, cuts it back inside, and he is going to be gone. Touchdown Blazers, 41 yards for Luke Jennings.
No on the play, which is good.
Again.
Again. And heck of a run by Jennings right there.
So a 70-yard and a 41-yard run. And they made that pretty quick.
It wasn't even an outside run, which is weird because usually so far this game, Olathe Northwest has plugged out the middle. And that was a skyrocket right there.
Might have brought down some rain if we wait a little bit longer, but the field goal is good. 6:24 to go in the first half. Blazers up 21-6. Take a timeout, and we'll be back with the kickoff after this on the Blazer Broadcast Network.
These are just a few of the sponsors of the Blazer Broadcast Network.
The Design Company Salon. New owners and the same great service, but with a new look. Go check them out, 136 East Main in Gardner.
Blazer's Restaurant, not just serving burgers, they now have barbecue, soft serve, and hand-dipped ice cream with 8 different flavors and combinations. Blazer's Restaurant, 131 North Center in Gardner.
Trails West Ace Hardware and Feed and Arbor Creek Ace Hardware. Check out their paint department, including their paint tinter and Clarkson Kensington Paint and Primer in one. Trails West Ace Hardware and Feed, 240 North Moonlight in Gardner, across the street from Cherry Berry.
These are just a few of the sponsors of the Blazer Broadcast Network.
Amazing barbecue, the Kansas City Strip. If there's one thing this town knows, it's meat. That's why Price Chopper Butchers take the time to cut meat fresh in-store daily. None of that prepackaged stuff shipped from out of state. It's also why Price Chopper backs all their KC Pride beef with a 200% guarantee. If you don't love it, you'll get a replacement and your money back. No questions asked. Price Chopper, Kansas City born and raised.
Ryan Ragland back with you at the McCarthy Auto Group broadcast booth. Ian Jones along the sideline. Got to get him turned up so we have – I love crowd noise.
Yeah.
I love crowd noise.
It's kind of hard when I'm cutting in and out, but I try to get it.
Well, like I said, I think it's a channel deal, so we'll have to – there's a setting on there, and you can just pick a channel, and we'll talk during the halftime, during the break.
All right.
Blazers after a – let's see, it'd be a 8-yard run by Rodriguez, a 70-yard run by McKelvey, and a 41-yard run by Jennings. Blazers have a 21-6 lead in the second quarter, 6:19 to go in the half. Manning back to pass, being chased, and he's going to be brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Kind of tag team on the backfield. It's going to be number 65, Gerald Picado. And also Peyton Vance. And that's going to be a big loss. 6-yard loss on the play. They're going to mark it 7, but I see 6.
I see 6.
You see 6? Okay, well. I thought my education was good enough. I could count to 6. Not 7.
6 and
we
a
don't know
quarter.
about them Wichita boys.
Hey. Manning rolling out back to pass. He's being chased again. Almost brought down and tackled behind the line of scrimmage. This time brought down by Colby Gettencord. Back-to-back sacks. And Manning this is like the Giants. Manning's not getting any time to throw the ball. I mean, come on.
Eric would be loving that right now.
Oh, yeah, because you know what he'd be saying. That was because of the Dallas defense. I'm sorry, they lost Sunday, didn't they?
Yeah.
Okay. And Kansas City won, if I remember correctly?
Yes, sir.
Yes, they did. Wait till Monday night. That's going to be fun.
It will.
3rd and 29, ball on the 16-yard line. They've got to get all the way to the 45. Handoff up the middle. And there's just nothing there. You weren't going to get much on that play anyway. And they were going to try to get rid of the ball anyway with the wind at their back.
Good job by this Blazer D-line. 2 back-to-back sacks make it 4th and a mile, it seems like.
Well, they were going to have to go to pretty much Paola to get a first down.
I would say so.
I would say Pomona.
Pomona?
Ouch. That's far. That's far. Oh.
And he should have caught that. You better let that one go, Cassida.
Yeah. We don't read Olathe West or Lawrence.
Well, you could say Osawatomie. That's further than Paola. So clock stopped at 3:30. Blazers with the ball. They're going to mark it down at the 16-yard line. So that was a good.
That was
a good 60, 70 yard.
Yeah, 70 yard.
Somewhere up there.
Yeah. And that took a very friendly bounce.
So 1st and 10, handoff to Hunsberger up the middle. He's got one man to beat around the outside. Gets to the sideline across the 50-yard line. And I don't think he was touched until the backfield. He got through that front part really quick. It's all right. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
37 yards.
37? Clock at 3:42. I'm trying to figure out why these guys are so slow getting the clock started.
They're trying to help themselves out.
Hey, you're getting paid by the game, not by the time. Get that clock rolling.
Exactly.
McKelvey back to pass. Brody Marshall by himself. He's going to be in for a touchdown, Blazers. 47-yard touchdown pass. And the Blazers, just like the first pass they try, and boom. And that's what this offense does. It sucks you in. Next thing you know, they're passing Brody Marshall all by himself.
Wide open, just down the
seam.
That was a.
Brody even had to wait a little bit for that one.
Yeah.
And he was still wide open.
Yeah, that was a primetime dime by McKelvey.
Hey, real quick, Ian, give me a call on the phone. We're going to take a little extra break. We're going to see if we can get your mic figured out. 28-6 is the score. We're going to take a timeout. And we'll try to get the mic situation fixed with Ian. We'll be back with a kickoff on the Blazer Broadcast Network.
These are just a few of the sponsors of the Blazer Broadcast Network.
Capes Whole Homes Heating and Air Conditioning, where customer service and industry knowledge collide. Capes Whole Homes Heating and Air Conditioning, 638-1647.
Humphreys Family Dentistry. Come meet one of the newest and best young dentists in the area. Dr. Julie Humphreys will win you over simply with her smile. Dr. Julie Humphreys at Humphreys Family Dentistry, 434 West Main in Gardner.
Junior's Detail and Plasti Dip. Let Jeff get that showroom shine your car used to have with the best rates anywhere. Junior's Detail and Plasti Dip. 620-1253.
These are just a few of the sponsors of the Blazer Broadcast Network.
Ryan Ragland back with you at the McCarthy Auto Group broadcast booth. And we got Ian to change the channel, so hopefully that's going to help. We just bumped the channels up a little bit, maybe a little different frequency, and you're sounding pretty clear. Ian's sounding pretty clear. Sounds like we might have gotten that situated. High kickoff and short, and down at about the 32-yard line.
All right, how's this sound?
Well, so far so good.
All right.
You know what you need to do?
What's up?
I think you need to go up to the stands and just find out who would like a Blazer Broadcast Network T-shirt.
All right.
See if you can find someone that has a radio on or check the sizes out on those. I think there's a extra large, large, and medium.
Yeah.
And just kind of go through it and find out. 84 yards, 36 seconds on 2 plays. Efficiency. That's what we like. So clock at 3:14, Blazers up 28-0. 28-6, excuse me. Toss to the near side, gets by one Blazer. The third one picks him up. On the tackle was Chase Maxwell. They're going to give him 1 yard as Bryce Williams.
What size do you want?
Hold on real quick. We got to give him a trivia question.
Medium, large,
Hold on.
XL.
We got to give him a trivia question.
I believe this is the medium.
We need to give him a trivia question. Hold on. Ian. I don't think he has his headset on. Ian. He doesn't have his headset on. He took him off. Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
2:36 to go. We'll turn him down. I thought he was going to try to keep his headset on. Manning back to pass. And he's going to be brought down behind the line of scrimmage again. 3rd sack of the game for the Blazers. Ian. He doesn't have his headset on. He took him off for a second. Oh, well. Clock running at 2:10. And the Blazers right now, the defense just penetrating. Ian.
You're welcome.
Ian.
All I've got's an extra large. All right.
They'll take it anyway. Ian.
I can hear him.
You're welcome.
Ian. See, now he's got to get his headset back on. I'm not sure why he took him off.
Oh, yeah? All right.
Handoff up the middle. Not much there. Right now, the Blazer offense and defense just controlling both sides of the ball.
I'm back.
Ian,
Yep.
you took your headset off, man. I was going to have you do a trivia question.
Oh.
I was going to have you have some fun.
Oh.
But you messed that up. So 28-6 to score on 4th and 18. And you notice I heard that. All I have is an extra large. We'll take it.
Yeah.
Didn't take long, did it?
No, it didn't. It was quick. It was real quick that I got through all 3 shirts.
People love T-shirts.
Yeah.
That's, if you want, that's the best advertising you can have.
Exactly. I can't wait to get mine because I need one.
I'm working on hoodies. How's that sound?
I would love a hoodie. I need some more.
You need some more?
Yeah.
I'll see what I can work out. I think I can do the hookup on that. So clock at 1:34, 28-6.
I missed out on a lot. I guess it's 4th and 18 now.
Well, you missed out on the 3rd sack of the game for the Blazers.
That's good.
Oh! And there's a block punt, and it's going to be the Blazers recovering. Special teams stepping up hard.
at
And I didn't see who blocked it.
18, 37.
I want to say it was 32.
That was Corbin Moore with the block punt. So the Blazers looking to add to the score, 28-6, 1:29 to go in the half.
And I think that's probably what, the first punt this year? Special teams.
They blocked one in Lawrence.
I was going to say, isn't that the second one I thought?
Yeah.
They blocked one in Lawrence.
They blocked one in Lawrence, that's right. But special teams going their way today, for sure.
Getzman in his quarterback.
Yep, Getzman in at quarterback now. And now we're going to have a timeout taken by Olathe Northwest. See if we can pull up some scores here real quick. Let's see if we can get a refresh on this. As we get a refresh on it. As we said, this is the homecoming for Olathe Northwest, so we're going to have a little extension. Still 7-0 Rockhurst over Miege. Blue Valley leading Northwest 14-0. Blue Valley North leading Mill Valley now 13-8. And I'm not sure if Graham Mertz is back in yet.
No, he was sidelined for about 3 weeks. I
Was
think.
it 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bad deal for him.
But their quarterback that's backing him up, it's
Isn't he a freshman?
He's a
freshman or sophomore?
Freshman who is just as good as him.
That's what I heard. That's not a bad thing.
No, it's not. McKelvey over on my near side, lined up as wide receiver with.
Yeah, he's in the slot. We did that. Hey, nice job. We're going to call another one.
I think they had 12 on the field. That's what the coaching staff here was talking about.
Okay, so here's my question. You just come out of a timeout, and you have 12 men on the field.
They need them.
Well, hey, that goes in your article. That's the.
We've also got
make sure you mention Will on the Blazer Broadcast Network. the line of the night. They need that 12th man. Okay, excuse me. This is not Texas A&M, okay? This is not the Seattle Seahawks. That was good, though. I like that. Let's see if we can get a playoff. It's been about, I don't know, a couple hours before we had a play snapped.
I guess so. I think I've grown in about 2 years.
Yeah, right.
All right, 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line. And then you get a false start.
No, I think it was encroachment first.
Was it encroachment? No, they're backing it up.
Okay.
So the other team calls timeout twice. I know you're amped up, ready to go, and then you jump. That'll drive you nuts.
They'll get it back.
Positive thinking. Where there's a will, there's a way. Getzman in at quarterback. They've had the same look, the same formation. Getzman back to pass, looking for the corner. Yeah, they're going to get pass interferences. They were all over McKelvey. They were going to make sure he was not going to get the ball.
They hooked him.
Oh, yeah, like I said, you're probably better off them not scoring if you get a penalty on him.
It's going to be on number 8, Caleb White, for the Ravens.
Have 122 people watching. Taking a look at some of the
same look here for the Blazers. McKelvey in at wide out.
Okay, I'm going to say something here real quick, and if I hurt some feelings, that's not going to bother me. I'm just going to mention the first name, Brian. As they get inside the 5, it's going to be 1st and goal. as we have these comments on the chat room now, which is good and bad, and I'll wait and I'll mention it. I'll mention it after the timeout here. So 1st and goal from the 3. And Guessman is going to spike the ball and stop the clock. Real quick, Brian makes a couple comments here. Let's see, what is he saying? He is saying bad camera angle, great camera, bad operator. Making corrections and everything. We're a little short-handed today here, Brian. So, yeah, I don't know. You've got a better angle than we do.
They're going to call it back, it looks like.
False start's going to back it up 5 yards, so it's going to be at the 8-yard line. We're a little short-handed now, and, nice little comments about, great camera, bad operator, making note that need to change it to second quarter and everything. We're a little short-handed now, so, let's keep it down. Let's just enjoy the game, okay?
Same formation again.
1:11 on the clock. Guessman back to pass. Pass is going to be incomplete, intended for Brody Marshall.
From this angle, it kind of looked like it was a 50-50 ball. For the receiver and the D-back, but, Blazers were looking for a pass interference, not going to get it in that situation.
Getzman's out.
Yep, Getzman went out. McKelvey back in. 3rd and goal from the 8, 1:05 to go in the half. Blazers up 28-6. Handoff to Jennings. He gets in for the touchdown. Blazers. Jennings, 8 yards out. His 2nd touchdown of the night.
He's coming off looking like he's in pain right now.
He might have. Is he favoring an ankle?
I don't know. He's hands.
Yeah, I can see him now.
We don't need another one.
Yeah, we don't need that.
No.
Calvin in to attempt the point after.
Who's favoring it? I think it might
Jennings.
Might just be a stinger.
Yeah, hopefully. And the left foot extra point is up and good. 35-6 is the score. Take a timeout. Be back with a kickoff right after this on the Blazer Broadcast Network.
Sponsors of the Blazer Broadcast Network.
Trails West Ace Hardware and Feed and Arbor Creek Ace Hardware. Paint, animal food, plants and gardening, tools, electrical supplies, plumbing. Why not Trails West Ace Hardware and Feed? Go tell Rex and the gang hi. Trails West Ace Hardware and Feed, 240 North Moonlight in Gardner, and Arbor Creek Ace Hardware, 159th and Muir Lynn in Olathe.
The Design Company Salon. Check them out on Facebook, and while you're there, you can book your appointment at the same time. The Design Company Salon, 136 East Main in Gardner.
Blazers Restaurant. Don and Wally have been proud supporters of Blazer Athletics for 15 years, so it only makes sense they own Blazers. Stop in and tell them thanks for their support. Blazers Restaurant, 131 North Center in Gardner.
These are just a few of the sponsors of the Blazer Broadcast Network.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Kansas are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Kansas Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Ryan Ragland back with you at the McCarthy Auto Group broadcast booth. Willithrow McIntyre alongside doing the graphics on the computer. Trying to help out with the camera. I'm trying to run the camera and play-by-play. Ian Jones along the sideline. He's got the best seat in the house. The one good thing about being on the sideline, you get good interviews with the coach when they're leading 35-6.
Exactly.
That's not going to be a bad thing.
It's not, and it's always good to interview a coach when they have the lead, and it's doing it again.
Yeah.
I think I'm battery this time. Honestly, it's at a 1, but I ran out of extras.
Toss to the near side. Ran out of bounds, clock stopped at 50. Well, you can come up after you get with Coach or try a couple other different batteries. We got a couple others here to try.
All right, sounds good.
You can warm up a little bit too. Clock stopped at 50 seconds. 2nd and 6 on the 24. McCarthy Auto Group pregame or a halftime show coming up next. Little dive play inside to Dumas. Clock runs at 40 seconds. This might be the last play of the half, as they're going to mark him just short of the 30-yard line. As Ian Jones will get a word with Coach Court Nelson here in a little bit. It's got to be happy all the way around. Kind of a slow start for the Blazers offensively, but then they hit those quick hits. Couple big runs by Jennings and McKelvey. Manning with the carry. 10 seconds left to go on the clock. That's going to be a first down. Stop the clock, but then they'll restart it. And Coach Hafner is going to use his final timeout. As we'll take a look at the scores.
Olathe Northwest calling. Thank you.
Ten seconds left to go on the clock as we're going to have the McCarthy Auto Group halftime show coming up. Also next week we'll have Shawnee Mission North coming to Gardner for homecoming, as we'll have a look around the Sunflower League starting at 6:15, and then we'll have the coach's comment at 6:40 with the McCarthy Auto Group pregame show, and then kickoff at 7 o'clock. We will carry the homecoming festivities in its entirety. Wills has his shoes and socks off, using his toes to get the stats situated. As we'll have the stats coming up at the half. 10 seconds left to go in the half. Blazers up 35-6. As we said, a little bit of a slow start for the Blazers. Then they came up pretty hard. Pump fake by Manning, and he's going to be brought down for the 4th sack of the night. And that's going to be the end of the first half, with the Blazers leading 35-6. And Ian, this is going to be one of those times where you're really going to have a lot of fun getting with Coach Cornelson. And I got to be thinking between the slow start with the offense and then coming up, and then the defense with 4 sacks ends up making him kind of happy.
I'm here with Coach Cornelson, right? And Coach, hold up. You've got to be happy with that 35-6 lead. You know, it started off, but with the McKelvey 70-yard run, and you know, you've got to be happy. So what are your thoughts on the first half?
Take anything away from them. They good plan. It kind of threw us for a loop for a couple drives. They were shifting, doing some things. Took us a little bit of time to figure it out, what we need to do. And once we got over and got it figured out, things started opening up a little bit.
Going in, you've talked about a complete game. Last week I had East. So second half.
Got to play well. You know, you got to play 2 halves. Can't worry about the score. You just play the next play the best you can, and hopefully we can do that.
All right.
Ian Jones down the sideline. He's going to come up here, and we'll try to work on that microphone. I'm not sure why it's doing what it's doing, but we're going to take a timeout. 35-6 the score. The McCarthy Auto Group halftime show coming up as Olathe East has their homecoming. We'll take a timeout. Be back in a couple minutes on the Blazer Broadcast Network.
Hey, Blazers fans! The McCarthy Auto Group is proud to support Gardner Edgerton Sports. Remember, when you're in an accident, after you call 911, make your next call 800-NEW-AGAIN for one of the 5 conveniently located McCarthy Collision Centers. Call or click 800-NEW-AGAIN for the McCarthy Collision Centers. For award-winning service performed by certified technicians with decades of experience, call or click 800-NEW-AGAIN. The McCarthy Collision Centers. Satisfying customers is no accident. It's our guarantee.
amazing barbecue, the Kansas City Strip. If there's one thing this town knows, it's meat. That's why Price Chopper butchers take the time to cut meat fresh in-store daily. None of that prepackaged stuff shipped from out of state. It's also why Price Chopper backs all their KC Pride beef with a 200% guarantee. If you don't love it, you'll get a replacement and your money back. No questions asked. Price Chopper, Kansas City born and raised.
These are just a few of the sponsors of the Blazer Broadcast Network.
Junior's Detail and Plasti Dip. If you're getting ready to sell your car, you know that appearance is key. So why not let Jeff get your car ready for you? Call Jeff at 620-1253.
American Computers. There's a reason why American Computers is the official computer store of the Blazer Broadcast Network. It just takes a single visit to find out why. American Computers, 325 North Moonlight, across the street from Trails West Ace Hardware. Humphreys Family Dentistry. For the best in general dentistry, Humphreys Family Dentistry will give you the smile you've always wanted. Make your appointment by calling 856-2333. That's 856-2333.
These are just a few of the sponsors of the Blazer Broadcast Network.
These days, the concept of value matters more than ever. And you'd be hard-pressed to find a better value than high school sports. Extracurricular activities, including sports, make up about 2% of the budget for a typical Kansas high school. In return, participation in sports promotes citizenship and sportsmanship. Sports also instill a sense of community pride and teach lifelong lessons about cooperation and self-discipline. They encourage physical fitness. They produce community leaders. By offering so many benefits to the community for such a small percentage of a school's overall budget, it's easy to see why high school sports are one of the best bargains around. The real cost would come from not having them at all. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Kansas Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Ryan Ragland back with you at the McCarthy Auto Group broadcast booth. At the McCarthy Auto Group halftime show, Blazers leading by a score of 35-6. They got off to a little bit of a slow start as they but they still came up with an 8-yard touchdown run by A.J. Rodriguez. Blazers ended up fumbling the ball on their next possession, and then in the early moments of the second quarter, Olathe Northwest came up with a 4-yard run to tie the score at 7, and then the Blazer offense really started going, or check that, 7-6 as the extra point was no good. It was Tevin McKelvey with a 70-yard touchdown run that made it a 14-6 score. They had an onside kick that ended up being no good. Olathe Northwest recovered it, only ended up going 5 yards, turned it over on downs as they went for it on 4th down. And then it was Luke Jennings with a 41-yard run. He made that 21-6. And then a 47 back-to-back sacks for the Blazers on the next possession for Northwest pushed the Owls way, way back. Ravens, yeah, I'm sorry. Too many birds flying around. And then it was a 47-yard touchdown pass from Tevin McKelvey to Brody Marshall, made that one 28-6. And then a blocked punt gave the Blazers the ball on the 19-yard line and capped off by an 8-yard run by Luke Jennings, his second touchdown of the night, made it 35-6. And that's our score. As you can see, the band is out, Olathe Northwest, with their halftime performance, and I have to apologize. You can see our reflection in the window, and that's only because if we turn it off, we can't see what we're writing and can't see the sheets or anything. If you want to, go ahead and turn that light out for a little bit until we get back to the game. Taking a look at the stats. Yeah, now I can't see. Taking a look at the stats in the second half, or the second quarter, 9 rushes for 178 yards for the Blazers. Did you get that switched over to number 40?
Yeah, I'm on 40.
Okay. I'll get you turned back up then. 2 for 4 passing for 50. Is that 50 yards or 58? 58 yards, 236 total offense in the second quarter, 4 first downs, 10 yards in penalties, time of possession 4 minutes, 15 rushes for 58 yards for Olathe Northwest, 1 for 3 passing for 15 yards, 73 total yards offense. You're working on the first half stats? And this is, 178 yards rushing is just for the second quarter itself.
Wow.
So if that gives you any idea of, I mean, that's, well, let's see, when you throw 70 in there and you throw 41, that's 101. And what I say they had for the half, or for the quarter?
73 total.
So only had 72 other yards rushing, and well, let's see, 8 yards rushing, and so 109 went for touchdowns out of 173. So that's that's pretty effective.
Yeah,
that works.
That shows you how dominant Coach Cornelson's offense, the scheme that he runs is, like you said earlier, they suck you in. They suck you in, and then McKelvey comes up over the top and drops what I called a primetime dime.
Oh, well, and Brody Marshall. And the bad thing is when you're that wide open, I'm sure Brody Marshall was going, please don't drop this, because there's no one within pizza delivery distance around me.
Exactly. But, I mean, it was a perfect
wow.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Wow.
But it was a perfect throw by McKelvey there. But this running offense, it doesn't seem to matter. Like, the past couple of weeks it's been those outside runs.
Yeah.
It's been those outside runs.
Well, and these that have hit have been the inside.
Yeah.
It's the inside traps.
That Brody Marshall run, or the Luke Jennings, my bad.
Yeah.
The Luke Jennings run up the middle for 40 yards. That was right up the middle, and that's something we're not used to really seeing after the past few weeks, where it's just been those outside runs that lead to the big gains and ultimately touchdowns.
Well, and the thing is that, and we've seen this many, many times, that where was it? I think it was Shawnee Mission East. Coach Cornelson said, they were giving us the inside. They were giving us the inside, and they never went off of it. So if they were going to give it to us, that's what we're going to take. Well, that's the adjustment. You just stick with it. Now you take a look at Olathe East last week. They tried the inside. It wasn't working, but they could get the outside sealed off, and that's where their bread and butter was last week. And it's just the blocking scheme is, and God knows I'm not the smartest guy in the world, and sometimes I have a problem trying to control a camera or anything, but
yeah,
blocking schemes on this has got to be, so communicative.
Yeah.
It's, you have to, you have to know exactly where you're going, because this is like, you got to think of as a lineman, in this scheme, all you have to do is hold your block for a second. Unless you're going to the second level, you hold your block for a second, you get a kick block, boom, because you're already pulling, 8, 9 people in the box.
Yeah, and that's the thing about with the veer option, I guess you would say it's called. And
give me your mic.
Try it. Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna switch these and see if that does any good. I'm not sure why it's doing that, but yeah, you should be on already.
I'll check.
Yeah, you are.
All right, I'm on channel 00. Who?
Yeah, you're on a different one.
Yeah.
I put you on. Will's showing me here something from Philip. The broadcast is great. Well, thank you, Philip. I appreciate that. I'm busting stuff. I'm being facetious, and I shouldn't. But you know what? After a long day, I can do that. Anyway, back to what you're saying.
The veer option is a very communicative type of offense, and the quarterback runs it, but you've also got to have good linemen to block. And we ran it in high school. We didn't run it as effective as the Blazers do, but it shows you the type of how good a communication you've got to have to be successful in running this offense, because it's really 3 simple plays. It's left, right, and inside.
Right.
There's no complexity. The complexity is within the blocking scheme, and that's where it is, and that's where teams have trouble. But the Blazers, obviously, Coach Cornelson has done this plenty of years.
This is 16th year. He's never had a losing season.
Yep.
Now I'm gonna give you this stat right here. Okay. He's never had a losing season. And I've got to go back. I had it written down someplace. But here's the interesting thing: the Blazers win this game. Let's say a bad deal. They win this game, and they lose the next 3. Go 5-3 into the playoffs and lose the first round of playoffs. They still have a winning season, and he still has not had a losing season.
That's incredible. That's amazing, and that's a good coach. That's a good coach, and whoever he was under in the coaching tree, he learned from really well, and that's great that Gardner has someone like that within their community, within the school now. And to put an example, the high school I went to, I don't think we've ever had a winning season.
Yeah, well, it's and like I asked him, I didn't know if it was if it's the scheme. I mean, you have to. I mean, okay, 5-10 years, okay, but man, you're going into your 16th season. You've never had a losing season, and you've gone from lacrosse to Hayes to Hutch, and now Gardner, and you come to Gardner after a winless season the year before, and you're the only undefeated team on the eastern side of the state in Class 6A. There has to be something there. It's either the way he's teaching it or something that just works so well.
Yeah, and that might be a question to ask him, but whatever he's doing right, and he's doing great. And this is what that Gardner team needs, especially a move to the Sunflower League, to set yourself, to put your name out there in the league, who has very, very good history with some of these teams.
We're going to let you head down to the sidelines so you can get with Coach Walters. He's got to be really happy with the 4 quarterback sacks. That's never a bad thing.
No.
In fact, I'm not sure if I remember the time the Blazers ever had 4 quarterback sacks, but I'm sure they have. I just don't remember. It's the McCarthy Auto Group halftime show here on the Blazer Broadcast Network. Blazers leading 35-6 at the half. We're going to take a timeout, take a couple-minute timeout, and when we come back, we'll have the words with Coach Walters, the defensive side, here on the Blazer Broadcast Network.
Hey, Gardner Edgerton fans! The McCarthy Auto Group is a proud supporter of youth sports across the Blazer Nation.
If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, or you need service or body work done, we hope you'll visit one of the 11 McCarthy Auto Group locations. Visit kccars.com for over 3,000 new, certified, and pre-owned vehicles. Our inventory covers most every make and model and prices to fit every budget. The McCarthy Auto Group, with locations in Olathe and Overland Park, Kansas, and Blue Springs and Sedalia, Missouri.
Go Trailblazers!
These are just a few of the sponsors of the Blazer Broadcast Network.
Capes Whole Homes Heating and Air Conditioning, where customer service and industry knowledge collide. Capes Whole Homes Heating and Air Conditioning, 638-1647.
American Computers. Never feel intimidated about going to a computer store. John and the boys are always happy to help you understand your computer better. And if something needs to be fixed, they will help you understand what's going on. American Computers, 325 North Moonlight, 2 doors north of Cherryberry.
Blazers Restaurant. After every Blazer football game, Blazers will be open till 11. So after a great game, stop in and get a great burger. Blazers Restaurant, 131 North Center in Gardner.
These are some of the sponsors of the Blazer Broadcast Network.
When you're Kansas City born and raised, you know just how much meat matters. That's why Price Chopper employs real butchers. They're hard at work every day in every store, so you never have to settle for something prepackaged out of state. They're so sure you'll love their KC Pride beef, they even back it with a 200% guarantee. Stop by Price Chopper tonight, where they cut meat, never corners. Price Chopper, Kansas City born and raised.
These days, the concept of value matters more than ever. And you'd be hard-pressed to find a better value than high school sports. Extracurricular activities, including sports, make up about 2% of the budget for a typical Kansas high school. In return, participation in sports promotes citizenship and sportsmanship. Sports also instill a sense of community pride and teach lifelong lessons about cooperation and self-discipline. They encourage physical fitness. They produce community leaders. By offering so many benefits to the community for such a small percentage of a school's overall budget, it's easy to see why high school sports are one of the best bargains around. The real cost would come from not having them at all. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Kansas Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Ryan Ragland back with you at the McCarthy Auto Group broadcast booth. Along the sideline is Ian Jones, and he's got one happy defensive coordinator, I would think, especially having 4 quarterback sacks in that first half. Oh, hold on. I screwed that one up. For some reason, I got mine turned off. Hold on a second, Ian. There you go. Go ahead, Ian.
All right, that's right. I'm here with defensive coordinator, Coach. Coach, you've got to be happy. 4 quarters half. You're holding them to 6 points at the half. The average fan didn't have a good game.
I got 20
I'm
rushes
pretty
for
happy with what we're
251.
doing. We kind of that
And
big run that
passing,
kind of
2 for
got
4
us.
for 58.
And there's a couple other things.
Ian, sorry about that. Tell the coach I apologize for that. Go ahead, Ian. Go ahead and let Coach go. That was my fault. I didn't get the battery switched out. Evidently, this whole thing has been an absolute cluster, and my absolute apologies. So much going on this week. I didn't get the batteries charged up in these, and I got to go to some backup ones. But Coach Waller's got to be really happy. In fact, I'll get these switched over real quick and get Ian turned back on. As that's why it went off, because the batteries died out. There you go, Ian. Now we can hear you.
Can't.
Are you there?
Hello.
I don't know. I don't know what the deal is, Ian.
Do I need to get on 40 again, or should I be good right now?
I can hear you perfect now.
All right.
Let's do that. Let's go that way for now. We've got you on. Maybe it took a little bit to connect. But Coach Waller's got to be really happy. You got to hear a little bit of what he was saying.
Yeah, he seemed really happy. You know, he was not too happy with that defensive breakdown that they had on that big run that led to the 6 points for the Ravens. And he wasn't too happy towards the end of the half. If they would have passed it off, he says there was a guy wide open that probably would have broke up for a touchdown. But overall, he's happy with the performance. You know, 4 quarterback sacks, a defensive that's a defensive coordinator's dream day, is whenever your defense gets 4 quarterback sacks.
Makes you look pretty good.
Yeah.
is what I would think. I'm just saying.
Sometimes that keeps you up.
Real quick, you had your first Planet sub today, didn't you?
Yes, I had my first Planet sub, and it was supposed to be.
It was supposed to be a chicken parmesan. My bad, I didn't get the text, but you had the Planet sub.
Yeah, I had the Planet sub, and it was
which was
really
supposed
good.
to be my Planet sub.
Yeah, it was supposed to be yours, and there was a lot of miscommunication on that.
There's a repetitive thing going on here with community. But I'll tell you what, I had the meatball, which was supposed to be your meatball, and I'm not mad about that at all.
Yeah.
And even Will's up here shaking his head going, yeah, the meatball's good. That works for us. But Planet Sub, new sponsors here on the Blazer Broadcast Network. And if you can't make it to a game, go to Planet Sub. They will have the video broadcast up on their big screen, and you can enjoy a great sandwich, watch the Blazer broadcast. And that's a great combination. In fact, if they're open by the time we get back, Will, you want to guess what I'm doing, son? Planet Sub again. That's just...
Can't relate.
Well, you know what? If you ride back with me, where's your car at?
It's at the Price Chopper.
Oh, the Price Chopper? Well, you know, Price Chopper's a sponsor too, but if you ride back with me and Planet Sub's open, then you can get Planet Sub again.
I don't want to have to make you pay for me, Ryan.
Dude, hey, how do you pay for an intern? How do you pay for help? How do you make a college student happy?
Free food.
You give him food. That's what it takes. So the Blazers get the ball to start the second half, leading 35-6. As the kickoff's going to go down in the corner. Casta is going to bring it up the near side, and he's going to be out of bounds. Good field position for the Blazers. As Connor Boyd with the tackle. And Blazers will get the ball to start the half starting at the 30-yard line. So an 8-yard run, 8-yard run, 70-yard run, a 41-yard run, an 8-yard run, and a 47-yard touchdown pass. Efficiency.
Come on.
See, now it's showing that signal bouncing. I'm not sure why. Handoff up the middle. Move that one to 90. Okay, hit that one to 90. We'll see if we can get that one to. Just go back on it. We'll see if that. We'll go the other end of the spectrum there. So 2nd and 10 for the Blazers. Clock at 11:20 and moving. McKelvey's going to keep it himself, cuts it inside. Going to have a flag on the play.
I think a holding.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a holding on the out as McKelvey tried to cut it back inside. Yep, so I'm not sure what the deal is. We've tried 2 different receivers. Or transmitters. That's different. That's weird. Clock stopped at 11:09, checking the flag. And we're going to have holding, and it's going to back the Blazers up. Now I don't even hear you. So we'll back it up 5 yards.
10.
Or 10 yards, excuse me. Hand off to Jennings, up the middle, cuts it back inside, breaks a couple tackles, gets across the 40 up to the 43-yard line, and it's going to be a first down. Switch that one back to 1. Ian, switch that channel back to 1. I'm not sure. Sorry about that. I'm not sure what the deal is. These brand new receivers, and we've never had this problem before. That's kind of strange. Clock at 10:45. Rodriguez up the middle. Breaks a couple tackles across the 50 over the 45-yard line. And another first down.
Hello.
There you are.
It's the batteries. I had to switch the batteries.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Well, I think they may. I've still got a couple extra ones up here. If you want to come back up and grab some non-chargeable ones.
I might have to do that.
I think you may have to do that. And I sincerely apologize. That's on me. I had so much going on this week, and I forgot to get those on the charger.
That's fine. I mean, stuff happens, man.
Hand off to Hunsbarger, tries to cut it outside, leans up ahead, gets a few yards on the play.
Tackled by Reese Kroll. Gain of 4 on the play.
In fact, why don't you go ahead and do that, Ian, and I'll grab a couple out here ready to go for you.
Sounds good.
So clock at 10 minutes and running. Blazers up 35-6. McKelvey under center. He's going to keep it himself, tries to get around the corner. He's going to have a first down across the 30-yard line up to about the 25. And that's just simply, we're going to give the ball to our fastest player and have him beat them to the corner. And that's going to be another first down for the Blazers. Clock stopped at 9:36. See, now I could probably hear you pretty good there, Ian.
Yeah. I might just camp out right here.
Rodriguez trying to get around the corner. He had Hunsberger in front of him. Cuts it around the corner.
See, now I wish every school was like Lawrence and have the opponent's side be on the press box side.
That was kind of strange, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it's nice now because I can talk to you clear.
Yeah, go ahead and come up here.
All
Let's get some different batteries in there. I'll make sure I get all these charged up.
All right, sounds good.
I don't think Jared would have this problem.
Wow. Wow.
He took a stab from left field. McKelvey back to pass. And it's going to be intercepted at the 5-yard line. Pass was intended for Ty Bradford. And it's going to be intercepted by Gabe Barfetti. I believe, isn't that the first interception of the year, I think, for McKelvey?
Yep, that is the first interception of the year for him.
Coming into this game, McKelvey was 9 for 12 for 185 yards with 1 touchdown and no interceptions. He threw his second touchdown, and that is his first interception.
But he sort of threw that off of his back foot up in the air.
Well, he was getting pressure, and there wasn't a whole lot going on there. As you said, he was throwing it off his back foot. Manning trying on the option. He keeps it, and he's going to be brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Clock running at 8:30. We'll get Ian set back down and see if we can get our crowd noise back in. Right. Manning back to pass on a slant. Pass completed. Right in front of David Johnson. Pass completed to Lafrety. Barfety. Tell me he hasn't gotten a little jab with that last name, because I guarantee with Raglan I got a little jabs with that last name. Ian Jones back online.
Hello.
On the option, the handoff to Dumas. And he's going to be down at the 21-yard line to make it second and about 4. You needed the exercise anyway, right, Ian?
I don't know if that's supposed to be a fat joke or not.
Hey, trust me, I need exercise. Have you seen my sides? I've been doing leg lifts. I've been doing planks. I've been doing crunches.
Steve or Greg?
Huh?
Steve or Greg?
Steve or Craig, yeah. I don't know. If I'm doing planks like that, I better have a 8-pack ab. And the Blazers they're going to get called for encroachment now. That's going to be a free first down for the Ravens. Clock at 7:03. Scoring update, Rockhurst leading Bishop Miege 14-0.
Wow. Wow.
Handoff up the middle, not much there. And I'll tell you what, as high-powered as Miege has been for the last few years, to keep that offense scoreless, you're doing something.
That's exactly right. This is probably uncharted territory for the Stags, as you know. They have one of the probably in the nation.
We lost you again.
You know what? I cannot tell you what's going on with that mic. That's.
I'm going to try something and take the cattail.
With the carry.
Sorry about that with the camera.
Tackled by number 20, Stutzman.
Make it 3rd and 5, clock at 6 minutes and running.
From the 31.
Blazers up 35-6, as you can see on the score. Thanks to Will for at least keeping that part correct. Give me that look.
All right.
Fake the toss. Little screen to Dumas, and it's going to be a first down. And all they did, they just down blocked everyone, faked the toss to the near side, and Dumas just went out in the flat for a nice little easy completion, and it's going to be a first down.
It almost looked like a broken play there at first, but they played off the play action, I guess, pretty well on that.
Manning, that was a broken play. He's going to be brought down at the line of scrimmage. He might get a yard on that at very best. This drive started at the 4-yard line. How much time was on the clock, Will? 8:57? 8:51. So they've taken 4 minutes off the clock. Really haven't gotten very far, though. And they almost jumped off sides there. Handoff up the middle. So 3rd and long, exactly where the Blazers wanted the Ravens at. And to be totally honest, I can't even tell who got the ball that time. I wasn't sure if Manning handed off to Dumas or...
I couldn't really tell because I was playing with the mic and trying to get everything.
Well, I think that might have been a busted play. I think because Manning faced off that side, and I think Dumas might have already ran by him.
I think that was the case.
3rd and 7. Up the middle, and not much, or a couple yards short of the first down, have to get to the 50. We're going to mark it down at the 48. And I got to think that Coach Hafner is going to be going for this one, being down 35-6. Do me a favor. Try taking that transmitter, and just set it up like just a little bit higher. I'm just kind of curious to see what it does. Maybe like set it like on your shoulder or something. Unless maybe you got something in your pocket that's doing it. Handoff Manning. He's going to be brought down behind the line of scrimmage, and I think that was supposed to be an option, and the option wasn't there. And I think on the tackle, Corbin Moore, and it's going to be a turnover on downs. So almost a little over 5 minutes, almost 6 minutes taken off the clock for Northwest. Ended up getting nothing out of it, turning it over on downs. And the Blazers get the ball at the 48 of Northwest.
And it's kind of weird. Usually you think, you know, you're playing, if you're playing behind, I don't know what's going on.
Jennings with the ball. He gets across the 45, close to the 40. You notice what's not happening?
No.
What do you have in your pocket?
I've got my keys.
I wonder if there's something with your keys or something, because that hasn't happened. You keep it up like that, it hasn't happened.
All right.
Well, I had to jinx it, didn't I?
Yeah. When I do this, it like cuts out on the radio part.
Well, yeah, it's going to count on the radio because that's what you're listening through. And we're going to have a false start, I believe. Yep, dead ball, false start. And it's going to back it up 5 yards. I got nothing, Ian. I apologize to everyone listening on the broadcast. I'm not sure what is going on. We've never had problems with these before.
I guess it's my fault. I don't know.
Well, yeah, Jarrett never had that problem.
Yeah.
But, of course, then again, Jarrett's always been on the near side too. So backing up, and then we're going to get the encroachment. I'll tell you what's funny about that. If you could see it, Connor Hilliard, nose guard, he sat there. Devin McKelvey did a hard count, and Hilliard leaned forward, and he leaned forward so far, he didn't even bother moving back. His head was just down. He's like, man, I did that one. He's like, yeah, coach, that was me. I'll do 10 push-ups, whatever you need me to do. So advance it up, 2nd and 2. Rodriguez around the edge. Tries to break through a couple Ravens. He's going to have enough for a first down. Clock stops at 1:49.
Tackled by number 13, Grant Hall. Gain of 3 on the play. 10 from the...
And they restart the clock again at 1:45. Hunsberger gets the ball, bounces it to the outside. It gets across the 30.
Jacob Hunsberger with the carry.
And the thing that's kind of interesting watching this is now you can see the adjustment in Olathe Northwest. They've kind of changed their scheme a little bit to fill the inside holes. But the Blazers are still able to bounce it outside. Now, the only problem on that play, I didn't see who was on the outside of Hunsberger, but Hunsberger actually had a blocker ahead of him, but the hole that was in front of him was too big to resist.
Yeah, and I mean, it's one of those, you see a big hole, you get, and still got a good gain, about 9 yards on the Hunsberger run, but.
And Jennings with that carry, he's going to have a first down. Clock stops at 1:23. And I'll be totally surprised if Coach Cornelison passes the ball at all in the second quarter.
Second half. But
or second half, yeah.
I would be too. It doesn't matter, if it's.
Keep the clock running. Keep your momentum with your running game.
Yeah. If it's 3rd and 28, I would not expect him to pass it.
Yeah, I was about to say I still wouldn't expect him to pass. Hand off to A.J. around to the outside. Up to the 15-yard line.
Tackle by number 34, Andrew Dumas.
Dumas with the tackle.
And 5-16.
Now, I have to say sincere apologies to Dumas because every time I hear that name, I keep thinking of Shawshank Redemption. And Will's shaking his head. He knows what I'm talking about. I'm sorry. It's just, it's a marked name now. Hand off to Hunsberger. Not much there. And I'll guarantee, I guarantee he's already been told that, so I don't think there's any issues there.
Yeah, he just with it. Oh, now.
So that's going to be end of the third quarter with the Blazers leading 35-6. We're going to take a timeout, be back with the fourth quarter here on the Blazer Broadcast Network.
These are just a few of the sponsors of the Blazer Broadcast Network.
Junior's Detail and Plasti-Dip. When your car looks good, you feel good. See how good you can feel today. Junior's Detail and Plasti-Dip. 620-1253.
Humphreys Family Dentistry. For the best in general dentistry, Humphreys Family Dentistry will give you the smile you've always wanted. Make your appointment by calling 856-2333. That's 856-2333.
The Design Company Salon. Check them out on Facebook, and while you're there, you can book your appointment at the same time. The Design Company Salon, 136 East Main in Gardner.
These are just a few of the sponsors of the Blazer Broadcast Network.
More than 7.7 million American teenagers participate in high school sports every year. including about 103,000 here in Kansas. They're all learning essential life lessons, like the importance of hard work, time management, and self-discipline. Skills that are helping them become better leaders and more active, responsible citizens. This message presented by the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Kansas Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Ryan Rangel back with you at the McCarthy Auto Group broadcast booth. Ian Jones along the sideline. Will the Thrill McIntyre here up here with me with the stats and the graphics on the camera. Blazers facing a 3rd and 4. Ball on the 15-yard line. Getzman in as quarterback, hands it off up the middle.
Nothing.
And not much there as a second wave is coming in. And on the carry, I believe that was Trenton Bryan, a 5'8", 168-pound junior. 4th and 2, and they're going to go for it here.
And at quarterback again.
Yep. Getzman's going to be in at quarterback. Handoff bounces to the outside is Butash. And he's going to be brought down at the line of scrimmage. And it's going to be a turnover on downs. So Northwest will get the ball at the 14-yard line. And that's kind of what we talked about. I mean, from there with the win at their back, they probably could have gone for the field goal, but Cornelson just being the class act, he's like, they're, not going to do that. We're talking, 29 points. There's no sense in it.
Yeah, and it's one of those, you just want to get the game over with at this point.
How cold is it down there? Is it still pretty cold?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Now you're fine?
I've been fine.
Okay. Toss to the near side. Missing a couple Blazers, brought down from behind is Zane Zetzman. 6'1", 165-pound senior. Good time for some of the JV guys and second stringers to get in there and get some time, because as they say, you are always one play away from getting into the game. You got to know what you're doing.
Exactly, and with the injury bug hitting the Blazers the way it has so far this season with 2 big losses, it's always good to get your JV guys get some of them experience.
I'll tell you one of the funniest lines that from one of the phone calls that I got was in 8th grade. Bubba had broke his pinky playing dodgeball at gym. So Junior calls me and he goes, "Hey, Dad," he goes, "I'm in at quarterback on varsity. Bubba broke his hand. I got to go. I'll call you later. I'll see you when I get home." I'm like, what happened? So he gets home and he tells me the whole story and he goes, "You know what, Dad? Those plays really work." And I go, because he was on JV and they just got done playing Shawnee Heights and just literally got destroyed. I mean, it was just there's a bad JV team. Pass completed for a first down up to the 35-yard line. And they had just gotten destroyed by Shawnee Heights, and he comes in. He goes, "Dad, I'm making the same calls, but the plays are working." Yeah, they tend to work when you have the right guys in there. So, yeah, it's, what are you going to do?
Just go with the flow.
You go with the flow. So clock stopped at 9:54. It's going to be 1st and 10. Manning back to pass on a slant. Pass is going to be complete, but nice tackle by Cole Bergman.
They called it incomplete.
Oh, did they call it incomplete?
Bergman broke it up.
It had his back to me, so it's kind of hard to tell.
Yeah. He knocked it out. Good coverage there by Bergman on that pass play, breaking it. 2nd and 10.
Clock at 9:45.
Oh, fumble.
Fumble
ball,
on the
Blazer
handoff.
ball.
Blazers got the ball on the recovery.
Number 57.
Atticus Ramsey is 6'2", 185-pound junior coming in after Manning bumped into his running back. So Blazers get the ball on the 33-yard line. Taking a look at third quarter stats real quick. 12 rushes, 94 yards, 0 for 1 passing. 6 minutes, 15 seconds time of possession for the Blazers. 7 rushes, 19 yards for the Ravens. 1 for 3 passing, 19 yards, 38 yards total offense. 3 first downs, 5 yards in penalties, 5 minutes, 46 seconds time of possession. Will, you are the man. That's what we like. Handoff up the middle, fighting for the first down. Keeps the clock running. Yeah, you can hear that band pretty well, and they're all the way on the other side of the field.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, literally, they sound like you're right in front. Well, I guess you are right in front of them, but you know, you didn't think you'd be 50 yards from them. Jeez Louise. Handoff to the far side, fighting for a first down is Brian Sonoidray, Souidaray, a junior.
Bumped into his blocker right there and just couldn't get past him at all.
You do what Brett Jennings did.
Just run him
you run your lineman over. You know I'm coming, get out of the way, or get footprints on your back. Take your pick. Do what? Surey. Up the middle is Trenton Bryan, and it's going to be close to their first down. They're going to give it to him. How do you pronounce his name again? Suderay. Got to get it straight because we're probably going to call his name a lot next year. Clock running at 8:30, 35-6 the score. And that was the score at the half. Blazers got the ball all the way down to the 4-yard line where they had a fumble recovery.
Oh! He almost lost that one right there. He bobbled it.
Got like it brought that one in.
Yeah.
I didn't get him charged.
Loss of 3 on the play. It's 2nd and 13 from the 26.
That's what happened.
Lucky to only be a 3-yard loss. It could have been a turnover for the Blazers had he not got back control of the ball.
I got to say, we're going to go with the McCarthy Auto Group player of the game. I think we got to give that one to Luke Jennings with 2 touchdowns tonight on the offensive side.
I'd have to agree. It's between him and McKelvey. I mean,
well, we're going to give it to Jennings. On the defensive side, we're going to give it to Darren Robertson, and I'll tell you why. He did not give up on the play on that backward pass.
That's true.
And he's the one that recovered the fumble, so I'm going to give him the defensive McCarthy Auto Group player of the game. As they say, you play to the whistle.
Arkansas learned that.
Arkansas. The only thing they have that's cool is the chant that's Suey Pig.
That's not even cool. Don't even say that.
Oh, that's funny.
No, it's not. It's
no?
the dumbest chant ever.
Is that from one SEC guy?
Yeah.
Not liking it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Suderay with the carry. Not much there. It's going to be 4th down.
They call it calling the hogs.
Calling the hogs, and when the whole stadium does it.
Yeah, and it's stupid.
Wow, is that any better than a Missouri Tiger growl or something?
No, we just have the MIZ-ZOU chant.
Oh yeah, that's even better.
Yeah, that we stole from Ohio State.
Oh wow.
Hey.
All right, 4th and 9, clock at 6:05 in the game. Looking for a false start, not going to get it. In at quarterback is Quentin Jones, the Q. That's Q. That's his nickname, the Q.
The Q.
The Q. Timeout called, 5:56. Once again, a huge thanks to all the sponsors on the Blazer Broadcast Network. Make sure this weekend, if you go to, Planet Sub, Blazers, Price Chopper, Design Company, Junior's Detail and Plastic Dip, Trails West Ace Hardware and Feed, American Computers, Sean Case with Capes Whole Homes Heating and Cooling. They are the reason why, and I am sorry, Sean, I failed to mention it. He is the reason why we have HD Broadcast and American Computers. Between those two, we are able to bring you 720, 720?
20.
720. Too many numbers. 720 HD. Next year, we are going to work for 1080p, cross fingers. But Sean Capes Heating and Cooling, a huge thanks to them for their sponsorship and stepping up and making it possible to bring you HD broadcast. Quentin Jones, the Q, in at quarterback. Looking to the near side to pass, and
wow.
that was a mistake as Q threw it out. I didn't see who the receiver was.
It was number 15.
Okay, he threw it out, and Lane Meyer threw it in.
Yeah.
So would that be a zig when he should have zagged, or zag when he should have zigged? One of those two?
It's one of those, But it was a good throw, honestly. I mean, nice tight spiral.
Q's got a nice arm.
Yeah.
And the reason why we call him Q is Quentin. That's his nickname. His brother, some John's kid, some Griffin, or I don't know. He's some kid over at Baker. I don't know. He played quarterback here for a little bit. He was a should have been. He'll get that joke. Toss to the near side. Trying to get around the corner, and I'll tell you what. Nice job by Ethan Reynolds on the cut down as Chase Brown was trying to get around the corner, and Ethan Reynolds just beat him to the spot, cut the legs out. If that had been Matthews, that would have been a roughing the running back flag. Have you seen the latest deal on YouTube or Facebook about that?
Where the guy gently picks up his wife and then.
No, this gets even better. Toss to the far side now, across the 25, close to 30. Well, now a couple of kids have actually taken it to an extreme, and a guy does an example and picks him up and doesn't tackle him until someone brings over an air mattress underneath the quarterback and lays him down, and then someone comes in with a ref's jersey and throws a flag. Well, then, and it keeps going on like that. Well, then they're in a car, and he's behind the guy, and he's waiting for him to move, and he honks his horn, and it's, a guy in the blonde hair like Matthews. The guy's wearing a Tom Brady jersey, and he gets out of the car, looks back at him, raises his hands up, and out of the passenger seat, here comes the ref throwing the flag. So, yeah, they've had some fun with it.
Yeah. The one where the dude, gently picks up his wife and gently sets her down on the ground.
I've seen one with, like a kid or something like that. Yeah, those are – and then NFL tried to come out with a definition of it now, and I didn't read it. I'm just like, you guys are – the whole thing's
it's a joke.
It is. Under 4 minutes to go, 3:50 in the game. Handoff up the middle on 4th and 2, and I don't think he got it. And then we're going to have a late flag. And he did get the first down.
I don't know what this would be.
That was a late flag, too.
Yeah, face mask. He's a face mask.
Okay. Obviously, you heard him.
I just saw the motion.
Oh, the motion? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that would do it. Now, was the face mask after he was down and on the ground?
I believe so. It said it was a 5-yard face mask.
Oh, okay. Incidental. I didn't know they had incidental in high school football.
I guess they do. I learn something new every game.
Okay. I know they had that in the NFL for a little bit. Hey, just be glad we don't have the sack rules that we do now, plus the in the grasp that we had about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
That was terrible. Fake the toss, Manning back to the near side, being chased. He's going to be brought down at the 35-yard line. Brought down by Atticus Ramsey, chasing Manning from behind. And it's going to be about a 4-yard loss.
That's sack number 5 tonight for this defense.
5 or 6.
5 or 6. Coach Walters has to be happy about that performance.
And I'll tell you what, Atticus Ramsey, he keeps this up. He may be getting some serious V time here if he keeps this up.
Yeah. So it's 2nd and 13, it looks like.
Ramsey on the toss to the far side, brought down behind the line of scrimmage. I'll tell you what, this may be second string, but they're not playing like it. Cole Bergman.
And Olathe Northwest has their varsity players still in.
Yeah, they're just getting roughshotted right now.
Yeah. And I mean, if you're Olathe Northwest, it's kind of embarrassing, honestly, if your starting varsity players are getting manhandled like this against second stringers.
Ian Jones down on the sideline. He's going to get with Coach Cornelson, and we'll try to get one of the we'll try to get with Robertson. Either Robinson or from the backside on the hit. Manning gets hit as he lets go of the ball as he's brought down by Colby Gettencord. And I'll tell you what, Manning's lucky he got rid of the ball when he did, because if it had been a split second later, that probably would have been a fumble.
And a roughing the passer call in the NFL.
I'm surprised. Well, yeah, I'm surprised they didn't call it there.
Yeah.
You know, if he was in the NFL, it'd have been get called. Just don't put a green helmet on me, all right?
Yeah.
Clock stopped at 2:10.
Gredencourt just came out of nowhere like a speed
that was a corner blitz, or was that an end?
I think that was a corner blitz, honestly.
I think he's playing in right now.
Yeah.
Manning back to pass as he was trying to get the ball. As Gettencourt was coming out again on the blitz, Manning was trying to get the ball out to Chase Brown, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. Or check that, yep, turnover on downs. And I'll tell you what, 35-6 a score at the half. No score in the second half, but that is not indicative to how the Blazer defense has played.
Yeah, and it's
in the second half.
The defense has played a really good complete game so far. I mean, we like Coach Cornell, like we talked about in the halftime show, Cornelson said that they want to have a complete game every week, and defensively they've had a complete game. Offensively, you know, the interception didn't help, but still, overall, when you're up 35-6 at half against an 0-4 team, you really don't need to do much more.
Under 2 minutes to go, 2 timeouts left for the Blazers, 3 for Olathe Northwest. I got to be thinking that they're not going to be, I believe that they are not going to be taking a timeout. That's the Blazer cheering section, the student body. As next week will be homecoming for the Blazers. They will be 5-0. And I'm telling you, people, come out, fill the stands up with a sea of blue next week as Shawnee Mission North comes into town. First time the Blazers have been 5-0 since 2010, and that team went all the way to the sub-state championship game. Well, let's not talk about that. Yeah. That still stings, don't it, Will? Just a tiny bit. 55 seconds left to go on the clock. 3rd and 7. And look for a little toss play to the near side. And we're going to see how they're going to start the clock, but that might have been the last play of the game. As 30 seconds, 29, they're going to wait. Yeah, that's going to be the last play of the game. Is now they're going to start the play clock. and there's only 17 seconds on the game clock. That's going to be the final score, 35-6. We're going to take a quick timeout, and when we come back, we'll have the words with Coach Corey Nelson and try to get either Luke Jennings or Darren Robertson. 35-6 to score. We'll be back with the McCarthy Auto Group postgame show in a couple minutes on the Blazer Broadcast Network.
Hey, Gardner Edgerton fans. The McCarthy Auto Group is a proud supporter of youth sports across the Blazer Nation.
If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, or you need service or body work done, we hope you'll visit one of the 11 McCarthy Auto Group locations. Visit kccars.com for over 3,000 new, certified, and pre-owned vehicles. Our inventory covers most every make and model and prices to fit every budget. The McCarthy Auto Group, with locations in Olathe and Overland Park, Kansas, and Blue Springs and Sedalia, Missouri.
Go Trailblazers!
These are just a few of the sponsors of the Blazer Broadcast Network.
Capes Whole Homes Heating and Air Conditioning. Contact Sean for any home indoor air quality products that you might need or be interested in. Capes Whole Homes Heating and Air Conditioning. 638-1647.
American Computers, your one-stop shop for all of your computer needs. Stop in and see what all they have in stock. American Computers, 325 North Moonlight in Gardner, across the street from Trails West Ace Hardware.
Blazer's Restaurant, serving Gardner's best burgers made fresh every day since 1976. Blazer's Restaurant, 131 North Center in Gardner.
These are some of the sponsors of the Blazer Broadcast Network.
To sell meat in the barbecue capital of America, you've got to be on your game. That's why Price Chopper employs real butchers in all their stores. And they back their KC Pride beef with a 200% guarantee. If you're not fully satisfied, they'll give you a replacement and your money back. So when you want the tastiest, juiciest steak in town, look no further than your Price Chopper meat department. Price Chopper, Kansas City born and raised.
Who do I play for? I play high school basketball for every baller who ever played a pickup game on a driveway, playground, or alley. Because we all share the same dream. I play for buzzer beaters, big-time boards, and burying rainmakers. I play high school basketball for the chance to put my hometown in Kansas on the map by playing in a state championship.
Only 0.5% of all high school student athletes play basketball in college. But all 100% of them become adults. That's why playing basketball on their high school team is so important. High school athletes learn life lessons that help them grow up. Lessons that can't be taught in the classroom and often aren't taught at home.
I play high school basketball because I love performing in front of a capacity crowd in my hometown gym.
This message presented by the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Kansas Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Ryan Ragland back with you at the McCarthy Auto Group broadcast booth. Ian Jones down the sideline, and he has a 5-0 Coach Cornelson. Go ahead and look around this way, Ian.
Yes, I'm here with Coach Cornelson. And, Coach, you've got to be happy 5-0. From what I've understood, you've never had a losing season as a head coach. And this win tonight seals that 16 straight winning seasons. How do you feel about tonight's performance?
Well, you know, I've been very fortunate over my career to work with a lot of great coaches and have a lot of great players. So, you know, it's a testament to them. Tonight, you know, second half again, we came out kind of flat. You know, we moved the ball, and then I got cute and tried to throw it and try to work on some stuff, and it didn't work very well. And so, probably not on the kids tonight. Second half was probably my play calling that was more of an issue. But I thought we played hard. I thought the defense did well after the one touchdown, and so I'm proud of them.
Yeah, you might want to get out of harm's way there, Ian. I'd forgot. Ian, why don't you go ahead and let Coach go? Go ahead and come back this way. We'll go ahead and get with the we'll try to get with Robertson because they're already in fact, if you can get, let's see.
I can find Jennings real easy.
Yeah, you can get Jennings. As long as the sound's okay, go ahead and get with Jennings and see if you can get with Robertson. If you can get with Robertson, let me interview him real quick.
Which one is number?
54.
54? 54, 54, 54.
I'll let you get Jennings. I'll take Robertson if you can find him. Go ahead and run over and try to catch him real quick.
Luke Jennings? All right, I'm in with the Blazer Broadcast Network.
Go ahead and get Jennings real quick.
So you had a heck of a game tonight, you know, that 40-yard run, 2 touchdowns. What were you seeing out there on the field tonight?
Well, I mean, it starts with the O-line. They gave me big holes. Coach always says just one guy, you have to make one guy miss. I mean, one guy missed, and it was good. Like you said, the line, you've had great field vision all year, and it's proven with your long runs. What was so different tonight? I mean, I don't know.
I mean, nothing was really different. I mean, it was just practice and everything. Everything's just starting to. You're starting to see everything more clearly now. I mean, it took a while to get going, but our O-line, everyone's figuring out, and it's good right now.
5-0's got to feel good. Congrats.
Thank you.
Hey, Robertson's right there ahead of you. I saw him just a little bit ago. Keep going forward ahead of you. The next set of steps that are coming down. Grab Robertson and give him the headset and let me talk to him real quick.
All right. What number is he again?
54.
54.
I think he's waiting for his parents to come down. I'm pretty
right.
right to the left.
You're gonna get to talk to Ryan. He's up over there. Well, it's with the broadcast network. We're gonna put a headset on.
There he is.
Why did they choose me just because I was the last one?
No, because you had that fumble recovery.
Got Darren Robinson on the line. Darren, what was that? Did we pick you only because of what?
Do what?
What did you say? We picked you only because you're the last one or something like that?
Yeah, that's what I said.
No, the reason I picked you is just because of your smartness on that backward laterals pass. That no one, it goes to that saying: you play till you hear the whistle.
Yeah, that's what the defense did really well tonight. We just kept playing. We knew that they were going to try to run the ball on us, and we just kept grinding.
Not to compare, because last year's team that you were with Blue Valley North, we've already talked about that. We already know how good that team was. But you've been a part of a championship team. What do you see from the beginning of the season to now, after 5 games, the transformation of what this team has done from the first game under Coach Cornelson to where they are now? Because it just looks like the whole attitude is just a little bit better, and everyone's starting to see the big picture of what this team can do.
Yeah, we really want it. The players, everyone, even the coaches came in and said, hey, we could make a run at it, so let's do it. So that's what we are doing.
You've already now talked a little bit about, and I haven't had a chance to talk to you after the Olathe East game. Talk about how physical that Olathe East game was last week.
They're a good team, really physical, probably the most physical team I've ever played. And I played against Aquinas, and all those teams, yeah, that was a tough game.
Well, congratulations on another great win. The McCarthy Auto Group Player of the Game on the defensive side, Darren Robertson. Have a great night, son. We'll talk to you later on in the week at practice.
Thank you, you too.
All right, Darren Robinson on the sideline. Ian Jones, go ahead and come. If you can, I don't know, come around the other side if you want to, and we'll try to get with you real quick, Ian, as the Blazers come up with a nice 35-6 win over Olathe Northwest. They move to 5-0. Shawnee Mission North coming in next week.
South.
No, Shawnee Mission North.
My bad.
Hey.
I'm trying to test you.
Hey, Shawnee Mission North coming in next week, trust me. Homecoming week for the Blazers, as Will is just about done with the stats, and I'll go ahead and kind of run them off as he's writing them down. Blazers, 43 rushes for 364 yards, 2 for 6 passing for 58, a total of 422 yards total offense, 14 first downs, 50 yards in penalties, time of possession 47 minutes, 37 seconds for Olathe Northwest, 38 rushes for 108 yards. Will's trying to get done before I get to him. 5 for 10 passing for 55 yards, a total of 163 yards total offense. Excuse me. 9 first downs, 30 yards in penalties, time of possession 23 minutes, 23 seconds. So kind of averaged out a little bit. Did you have the end of the first half, or let's see, I'm just kind of curious. Was that the first half? So time of possession, Blazers, it was still pretty equal, especially with the Blazers keeping up the time. And I think that really helped when they got the ball down to the 4-yard line and ended up, was that a fumble when they got to the 4-yard line, I believe?
Picked up.
Oh, that right. That was the first interception that McKelvey had. But still, that took a lot of time off the clock. So as I actually back this up, Olathe Northwest with their band performance, and I'll tell you what, some bands in the Kansas City area, full-fledged drum and bugle. That's all I got to say about that. But the Blazers come up with a nice 35-6 win, dominated. As you heard Coach Cornelison talk about, he tried to get a little cute. I really don't want to say cute. Maybe tried a few different things to see what was going to work and what wasn't going to work. And you're not going to try it unless, you're not going to know unless you try it. And if it doesn't work, then you can find out, what you need to work on, look about it over at film and stuff, and always trying something new and try to incorporate that later on, because you're always trying to come up with something new, because when you get into the playoffs, you're going to be playing, you're going to get the first seed, but after a while, you're going to come up with the best of the best after about the first couple rounds. So you need to get that going. Ian's back up here, and you're warming up now a little bit?
A little bit.
A little bit, or either that or trying to catch your breath?
A little bit of both.
Well,
if stairs are a pain.
You know what? If we hurry up and get this broken down quick, well, we ain't going to get broken down quick enough. But I'll get you plant sub again.
All right.
I got you covered.
All right.
Will, you did a fine job, sir, as always. The master of the stats. Ian Jones on the sideline did a great job.
That was my first time commentating a full game.
The first thing I'm going to do when I get home, I'm taking the batteries and putting them in the charger. I totally apologize for that. But we got it better the second half.
Yeah.
So that worked out well. So we're going to cut out. Blazers win 35-6. Shawnee Mission North coming in next week. A look around the Sunflower League on Friday starting at 6:15, brought to you by Trails West Ace Hardware and Feed. Real quick.
13 Rockers final.
For the final, Rockhurst 14-13, and I did get word that Miege tried for a 2-point conversion for the extra point and did not make it, obviously. So that sounds like it was the game of games.
It's probably one of the top games in state and
bar none.
in the Metro history.
Oh, bar none, without a doubt. So, real quick, take a look at some of the other scores real quick. Let me get this up here. Let me get refreshed.
Olathe West, 33-7 over Shawnee Mission West. Yeah.
Oh, no. Was it?
Yeah. Olathe West over Shawnee Mission West, 33-7.
Oh, Olathe West. Yeah. Well, let's see. I still have 12-7. Mine didn't refresh, so I need to hit that, go, refresh. But yeah, the Vikings got their first, or the Owls got their first win of the year. Blazers will take on Olathe West in Week 8 before they head into the playoffs.
We already played Olathe West.
Shawnee Mission Northwest, excuse me. See, this kills me. Too many directional schools. Kills me, man.
You writing with him?
Yeah, I got him.
All right.
Thanks a bunch, Will. Doing a great job as always. Tell Melinda we said hey.
All right.
Tell her I got her. I'll get her shirt ready for her. Because if not, I'll get yelled at, and I don't want to get yelled at by her. Once again, we'll go over the scores here real quick. Scores yesterday. St. Thomas over Blue Valley West, 53-7. Shawnee Mission South fell to Shawnee Mission East, 35-18. Rockers over Miege tonight, 14-13. As Miege failed on the 2-point conversion, Blazers win here, 35-6.
Will's not gonna like this score.
51-0. Lawrence Free State over Sedalia. I'm taking Fort Osage. Got hammered.
23-7 by Park Hill.
Yeah, he's not going to like that.
Nope.
Derby continues dominance on the western side of the state, defeating Salina South 60-7. That I'll tell you right now, that makes for a long trip up 135 from Derby going back to Salina after getting your tail kicked 60-7. I've been on a few of them bus rides, and there is no sound whatsoever.
You know what's a really long drive? I saw Sports in Kansas tweeted or put it on their Instagram story. Pittsburgh has to play at Ulysses.
Are you kidding me?
And it's like a 4 or
It's
5,
longer than that.
6-hour drive. It was a 6-hour drive.
Yeah. Do you know where Ulysses is?
It's southwest corner.
It's literally southwest corner, and Pittsburgh is literally
southeast
X miles from the Missouri state line.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, that's like the Blue Valley Northwest girls during their holiday basketball tournament went all the way to Colby. That's a boring. You get past Salina, that's a boring drive.
Yeah.
I lived in Salina. I know how boring west of there it is. Anyway, Blue Valley North over Mill Valley, 34-16. Blue Valley over Northwest, 42-0. Southwest over St. James Academy, 21-12. Let's see. Shawnee Mission Northwest over Lawrence, 20-2.
Wow.
In progress, Shawnee Mission Olathe East and Shawnee Mission North tied at 25.
Wow.
Exactly. That's
I hope North pulls it out just because of the head coach. I know.
yeah. We might hope that they do that because, well, I don't know. We don't play either one of those two. I was thinking Olathe North and Olathe South, but Olathe North leading Olathe South 28-14. So Hawks Olathe East tied at 25 with Shawnee Mission North. So, like I said, Olathe East is one of the best 1-3 teams in the state. And then you get Shawnee Mission North, who's been struggling a little bit. They just got their first win. You get a team that's got a little bit of taste of winning, and they keep fighting it. So, anyway, that's going to do it for us. Once again, 35-6 the score. Thanks to Will for helping out with the graphics and the stats. Ian on the sideline, brought to you by Sean Capes, Whole Homes Heating and Cooling. Our 720 HD broadcast brought to you by Sean Capes at Capes Whole Homes Heating and Cooling. Make sure you tell Sean a huge thanks for his sponsorship and allowing us to be able to bring a HD broadcast. Also, the great guys at American Computers for their tech support to help getting us going. So, Chiefs on Monday. That's all we worry about. We're not worried about KU. We're not worried about K-State. We could give even less about Missouri. Cowboys. Hey, at least you're not going to lose. Cowboys, we don't care. So, Jared, I'm sorry. The Chiefs, Monday night in Arrowhead.
No, it's in Denver.
In Denver. Patrick Mahomes going to throw for 300
or 3 touchdowns?
3 touchdowns.
I've got 4 touchdowns and 350 yards.
I was thinking 3 touchdowns, 3.5 in that area. We'll see what happens. Anyway, have a great weekend, everyone. For Will, for Ian, I'm Ryan. Have a great weekend. We will see you Friday night as the Indians of Shawnee Mission North come into Gardner for homecoming week, and you can hear all the action right here on the Blazer Broadcast Network.